personality. The cult of personality. The cult of personality.
Hello, welcome to a Monday edition of The Voice of Ocala. By the hair of my Rennie Chin Chin, just as the music was ending. Able to make the opening of the show. Good to be with you on this overcast Monday. Good to be anything after this past weekend. For me, weekend of being in my PJs and being home and trying to get past this little cough I've been having. But thankfully today I woke up and I'm much better. And glad to be with you gentlemen today on this Monday. And what a weekend of football, huh?
It was a good weekend of football, buddy, but I'm bearing gifts of basketball.
I heard the news.
Center State Bank has donated these. Glenn over at Center State Bank said these are compliments of Center State Bank.
Wait a minute, I can't think of anybody who'd want to use these but you.
No, this is Southern University.
Oh, okay. Well,
in Louisiana.
Our friend had it mixed up then.
Right. We're giving these away on the radio today.
Tickets to tonight's basketball game.
Tickets to tonight's Gator game.
Wow. Wouldn't be any
Courtesy
good.
of Center State Bank.
It wouldn't be any good to give them away tomorrow because the game will be over, so that would work.
Florida versus Southern. And look at these seats. Level 1.
Huh.
Level 1, Section 1.
How about them apples? Very good.
We're not giving away paltry seats. We're giving away good seats.
Good.
We'll have to figure out how we're going to give them away, though.
Well, you're the master of that kind of stuff. We'll figure it out. So.
I already got a question I think I want to go with.
All right. Well, we'll let you do that here in a minute. Also today, we're going to do something a little different today. We'll have two women who are involved with the Women's Prison Ministry, a group of people who really, I think, do a great job in our community and really administering to people behind bars who are there. You know, sometimes we act like they're invisible. They're not really people, and I think these people are very, very, very attentive and very dedicated to this cause. There was something called Extreme Solutions, SOULUTIONS, and Sylvia Edwards, Executive Director, and Greta Blanton will be here in the studio. Now, I've heard of this organization before. I have a friend who's been involved with it, and I've heard a lot about it, but I have not ever actually sat down with anybody. So I'll be looking forward to talking to Sylvia and Greta at 4 o'clock about that. Today, it's time for Dr. Buddy. We'll deal with something that's a different kind of cheating, a kissing affair. Kissing affair. It's rather provocative and one that I read online. I thought I would bring up to our listeners for Dr. Buddy's subject today. You know, people like those stories about cheating, don't they?
Yes.
They like those stories about cheating. So we'll see if we can get that for you. Also, give you a couple of tips today from Dr. Buddy. I'm going to give you my special commentary on the Florida Gators. And it's going to be called, Now That's What I'm Talking About. And we'll talk about that in the sports hour, but I have a thought about that as I watched over the weekend, as many of you did, the South Carolina game, Florida, a noble effort on defense. And Skylar Morningweg did pretty good for a guy who stuck in there as a third stringer and didn't do a bad job. So I've been critical of this team, as you know, and I've written a very critical column, which has gotten quite a response from some angry members of the Gator Nation. But that's okay. That's what we do sometimes on this program and in our writing. And just basically saying that, you know, Muschamp is not getting it done. And here are 10 reasons why he should be fired, but the one reason that he won't be. And, of course, we know that what happened is that in fact, Jeremy Foley and Bernie Matson stepped up last week and gave him a 1,000% guarantee. And so then the Gators went out and lost their, sixth game of the year? So they're just about not going to get bowl eligible unless they can beat Florida State. That's not likely to happen, and I'm pretty sure they'll beat Georgia Southern.
Blue, white.
It's not Florida State's colors.
No, that's Georgia Southern's colors. Get used to it, pal.
Yeah, I'm sure that's one we'll all be listening for. That should be ringing throughout the swamp.
Georgia.
I know it's not going to be on TV, and I know no one will attend the game.
It will be on TV.
So
it'll be on.
if a tree falls in the woods,
it'll be on TV. It's going to be on Sunshine Network.
Well,
pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. So that's an extra $50 you got to show.
You're paying $50 for that game.
No,
I'm sorry.
It's not $50. Thank you. It's $49.95.
Okay. Well then, how many Georgia Southern graduates have that much money? First of all,
quite a few.
Oh, okay.
Quite a few. Remember, Alan Paulson is a Georgia Southern grad, and he built the stadium and all, and he's the guy that owns Gulfstream Air. So
maybe he'll buy. Why didn't he just put the TV on game for him for everybody? Buy everybody a ticket.
Yes.
It is being shown on the local broadcasting channel in Statesboro.
Doesn't help us. It's all down there.
So Georgia Southern's having a game played where everybody can watch it there, and Florida can't do that here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And where they shouldn't show it is in Statesboro because it's going to be ugly, probably. But anyway, we'll see. The game has to be played.
Anytime you get $950,000 for your athletic program, it's not going to be ugly.
I believe there's a name for that. It's called sacrificial lambs is what it's called.
Whatever we need to help the athletic program.
Anyway, I want to talk about a story, though, over the weekend. Really, every now and then one of these stories comes along, just a rare story that just moves you in a certain way. And I saw one over the weekend. It was a really good 60 minutes, by the way, over the weekend. And just in case you didn't see it, there'll be, I'm sure, replays of it.
Are you going to start talking about Paraguay?
I am, and not now, but I'm going to talk about it a little later. And interesting enough, there were several good stories on 60 Minutes.
Really good stories,
including Gitmo and including the billionaire story, which I thought was great.
Can you believe that? Warren Buffett's giving away 99% of his wealth.
I'm getting to that.
Wow.
I'm getting there in just a minute. Just call it tease. I
didn't say how much the Gates family was giving away.
Yeah, right. So you want to do the story, I'll just let you do it. But anyway, the point is that this story I want to talk about is one that I think is an example of doing something with absolutely nothing. And when people say they got nothing and they got no hope and they got nothing, I would say to you, yes, there's always something in this story about children in Paraguay who will, in fact, tell that. And I'll talk about that. And there's a couple of quotes off Twitter, which I'll share with you. But I thought that was a very, very – if you didn't have a tear in your eye there, I don't know where you would. And in a good way. So
an amazing story.
Yeah. So all that's on the program today. Meanwhile, I'm double parked outside. We will take a break, come back. We'll pick up on the other side. You got stories to follow, Tom?
I do. I got the terrible devastation in the Midwest yesterday as up to 40 tornadoes touched down. They're still combing through the rubble looking for survivors and victims. Plus, I got a story about the airport. The city is doing lots of improvements to our airport here in town. And is 70 miles an hour fast enough on the interstate? Well, not according to two state legislators. They want to raise the speed limit on the interstates to 75. I don't remember when it was up that. It was 75 for a while in the early 70s, wasn't it, buddy?
Yes, they dropped it back because of the gas shortage.
55. So,
by the way, you might pick up, too, on that story about George Zimmerman being arrested again, and also the fact that there's this story about the van full of kids that were out in New Mexico. Mom and 5 kids, and the state trooper shot into the van. So,
I saw that story over the weekend.
I want to talk about that a little bit, too, coming up. We'll take a break, come back for more on the other side here on a Monday version. By the way, Thursday, we're broadcasting at the Livestock Pavilion for the big meeting with the workshop with the county and the baseball stadium, the Project Home Run. So that's coming up on Thursday. Tom, listen to us on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Hugh, one of our loyal listeners, posed this question to Chief Greg Graham of the Ocala Police Department.
Yes, I'm here, and thank you for taking my call. I would like to know if the two departments have access to remote control robots that can safely handle possible explosive materials.
Yeah, we do. we've got a joint bomb team that it is mainly housed at the sheriff's office, but yeah, we've got a robot that they're trained on using to go in and, actually you can go in and with a video camera and look around, or it can take a device or whatever, it can deliver a phone to somebody. I mean, it can do all kinds of things. It's actually pretty impressive.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist in Ocala. There's no referral needed for an appointment. Call 873-7200, offering medical services for glaucoma management, including laser surgery to help lower your eye pressure and potentially reduce your dependency on eye drops. He also evaluates and treats diabetic retinopathy, one of the leading causes of blindness, with advanced imaging and laser procedure to help prevent vision loss. Dr. Hunt's office accepts most insurance and files claims for you. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Cheese Chisholm. He's a graphic designer, a music producer, and one of the famous Harlem Globetrotters, coming out to speak to us about the 2014 Fans Rule World Tour of the Harlem Globetrotters.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Carol Ann Baldwin will be in the studio answering your questions about your garden on her show, You've Got a Garden.
Mark Deal is an inspirational speaker. He's written a book called 17, Book 1, and he'll be asking the question, are humans on their way to becoming a society of conformists?
And then Joe Radcliffe will be in the studio from Damage Control Services. He'll be talking about disaster restoration.
David Foreman is the herbal pharmacist. He's written a book called The 4 Pillars of Health, and he'll be speaking about the 4 fat saboteurs to weight gain, even if you exercise, eat healthy, and count calories.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
What's better than 12 days of Christmas? 12 days of presents, that's what. So that's exactly what we're going to give you. Tune in every day between now and December 2nd for your chance to call in and get your name in the Christmas Bowl. Then on December 2nd, we'll draw a name on air during Fun with Joe at 11:45. The lucky listener will have 12 minutes to call in and claim that prize. If not, it rolls over to the next day and some other lucky listener can win your prizes. We're doing it for 12 days, so you could win it all. Prizes like a wine basket from Island Grove Winery, or how about a $600 Reactor men's watch from Gem Galleria? It's the WOCA 12 Days of Christmas Presents giveaway. Remember, listen for your chance to get your name in the Christmas Bowl, then listen every day at 11:45 when your name could be called. Call us back within 12 minutes and it's yours, but miss it and it's coal in your stockings. So tune in, call in, and win on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is Tom Schmitz live at the WOCA studios with this news break brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. According to Ocala.com, the city of Ocala has completed about 90% of its master plan for the Ocala International Airport, and part of the plan investigates the best way to phase in development of the airport's west side. Airport Director Matthew Grove said the city is not changing the scope of the airport. It will remain a general aviation airport, but the city has invested $5 million in infrastructure to lure companies to locate their businesses at the airport. This news update was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie weekly as she joins Buddy for her Biz Buzz or Good Neighbor Award.
Nothing is really wrong, feeling like I don't belong, walking around some kind of lonely cloud. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
You probably didn't know, JJ, this is one of my all-time favorite songs. You played it a lot.
No, I know that.
Yeah, one of my favorites, yeah. I always love that song. She died way too early, Karen Carpenter. Tom, you took a little stroll out to the county today and
I was
saw
out there
some
quite a
folks,
while.
And you got some information about our broadcast Thursday. Why don't you tell the listeners about it?
Well, you know, there is a workshop. The county will be doing the workshop starting at 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon.
On the baseball
on
stadium.
the proposed baseball stadium and the half-cent sales tax. It will be at the auditorium at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. It will not be at the regular county commission auditorium at the McPherson complex. It will be at the auditorium at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. And we will be broadcasting from out there to get people's reaction as they come out of the meeting.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And as they go into the meeting.
And there may be a big crowd.
They're planning on a large crowd. I got an email today that you forwarded me.
Cindy, if they show up, you know.
if that group shows up, and then I did exactly what the email asked me to do, I sent it to all my friends that live here in Ocala.
Yeah.
So if we use remember the old Brett commercial? I'll tell 2 friends, and you tell 2 friends, and so on and so on. If that works here, they did a good thing moving it to the auditorium at the Livestock Pavilion.
And the names on that list are also very prominent people, by the way. And,
which one of these is not like the other that my name ended up somehow? Thank you for emailing it to me, because I'd have never got it if it hadn't been for you.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of names we know on that list, but a lot of names we don't know, and they're all prominent people. And I'm beginning to think this thing's getting some legs. After thinking originally that we had not much of a chance to get it passed, and by the way, there's still 2 or 3% of me that wants to know a little more about this before I'm saying, it's everything I expect it to be. I'm for it. I'm pretty much public to that. I've written a column about it, which is coming up in the next issue of Neighborhood Magazines. We talked about the show. If people don't know by now, I'm for it. But I want to learn some of the details. I want to know more about it, and you should too. But basically, in principle, I'm absolutely 100% for it, because I have a lot of reasons why. The number one reason is that we need that facility regardless if the Yankees were coming here or not. If you look at it like this, we need an athletic facility like this to put on special events, sporting events, whatever, outdoor in our county. The late Augie Griner and I actually tried once before, at least Augie and I talked about it. Augie did all the work and talked to some people on council and didn't get much movement, didn't get much traction. And now is the time when if you ever want to have a facility which holds 4,000 plus 1,500 on the burn, whatever. If you want to have a little facility like this to put on sporting events, graduations, whatever, baseball games, have a tournament, and you want a tenant, I don't think you could get much better tenant and a much better lease than 25 years. Now, you can argue all you want to about the cost, whether or not the county and city should be paying for it and all that if you want to. And I know that gets very political, and I get that because there is some history where some facilities have not done well owned by municipalities. Lately, that's not the case. Lately, it seems like it's done very, very well. I'm going to tell you about one coming up in the Sports Hour in Richmond, which I barely mentioned Friday, and I forgot to talk about that Friday. But it can work, the stadium thing. And so if you're ever going to have one, the timing is perfect for this. And I just urge everybody to pay attention, listen, read. And if you can go to this workshop the county is putting on, city's putting on with the county, to explain the details, answer questions, I think you might be enlightened. I know I was when I went there, and I heard everything I heard. I was really quite pleasantly surprised at the great detail that had already been done on this project. So that's coming up.
Well, I talked to Commissioner Carl Zalek today for quite a while today. We talked about a myriad of things, from the baseball to where the closest recycling place is for me to take my household garbage. I got all kind of information from Carl Zalek.
Because as we all know, it's always about time.
Always. But Carl Zalek says he's looking forward to Thursday. He's looking forward to the opportunity to learn more about the situation. He's going into it with an open mind, but he says he has to keep in mind what's best for his constituents in this county, and taxes aren't something he thinks is probably best for his constituents. But he said he's going in with an open mind.
Yeah, pretty much what everybody said and has to say.
And I asked him point blank, I said, Buddy Martin has it on pretty good a pretty good source that says this was a 5-0 deal that you weren't even going to entertain the workshop. Mm-hmm. And he said, same thing Stan McLean said, Buddy needs to check his sources. That was never discussed. We were never 5-0 against it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but he's got his sources. I got mine. This was over the weekend. I'm just going by what was told to me. It was told by commissioner, by the way, 2 commissioners told to somebody else said it was 5-0. Now they could reverse their field, sure, but that's fine. It's all just semantics anyway.
Well, yeah, because we're having the workshop, so it really doesn't matter now.
But let's just say this: it was not a slam dunk. Please don't let anybody tell you that was a slam dunk, because it wasn't. There was considerable discussion about whether they would even have the workshop, but that doesn't matter. I mean, look, the fact is we're having the workshop. Ultimately, it's going to take everybody pulling together if we're going to get it. We need to stop worrying about he said, she said, and whatever. Bottom line is that if that's what it took to get everybody's attention, then fine.
Well, JJ and I do enough of the he said, she said arguments weekly here to save up for the whole county. So.
Well, we don't put pure rumor out on this radio. We do try to make at least a little have a lot of credibility. I mean, so we do try to base it in fact as often as possible. We get things wrong, but then on the other hand, who doesn't? And if we get them wrong, we try to clean them up. Anyway, the point is that's not the deal. The deal is the broadcast will be on Thursday at Livestock Pavilion. We encourage you folks to drop by. I want to talk about something that was very moving over the weekend that I saw. And, 60 Minutes has been hit and miss lately. It hasn't been that good. There's been not very much that there was not much wow factor to it. They just got themselves in trouble with the Benghazi thing, and they had to go back and they got taken by somebody.
Yeah, the guy wasn't even there.
And the thing about it is that you can get burned by sources.
How many times in your illustrious career, I'm sure it's happened more than once where a source burns you?
Oh yeah, I've had people lie to me about things.
Right. And how is a reporter because I've heard people say 60 Minutes didn't go far enough in their apology. I mean, how far do they have to go? This guy lied to them, and they vetted him, and he was who he said he was. So how can they know he's openly lying to them?
It's a bad mistake, and let those without erasers on their pencils speak for themselves. But we've all made and will make mistakes. The question is, can you live with them? And did you do the work? Did you do the homework? Did you do the diligence? And then did you get lied to? Well, that's going to happen. If somebody does sloppy work, I don't think 60 Minutes would do sloppy work. They're noted for their excellent reporting, but they're going to make mistakes. In this one, they got burned badly. They got the wrong guy. I think the American government has been it's happened to them a few times. I wondered about Karzai sometime about him if he wasn't playing this between both sides. Well, it's happened. The answer to your question is yes. I've been burned by a source giving me bad information or in fact lying to me.
Well, this 60 Minutes this weekend is the proverbial don't judge a book by its cover. Because I looked at the the little synopsis they give you on your satellite when you pull it up and say, what's this episode about? And I almost just deleted it without even watching it because it looked so just boring.
Looked depressing.
It looked boring. And boy, was I surprised.
JJ, do you watch 60 Minutes? You probably don't, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. This particular story, if this doesn't get you, you kind of get tired of seeing poor people. You get tired of it. You feel so guilty about it. Sometimes you want to change the channel. Let's be honest about it. There's so much out there, so much hunger, so much pain. You think, what can I do about it? And you feel so terrible it makes you want to change the channel. But this is a different kind of story. This is a city in Paraguay. It's called Catura. It's literally on a garbage dump.
The city was created
on a garbage dump.
Around the garbage dump.
And so this particular story is about these children who come from that garbage dump. And there is a school there. And there's this, I don't have the guy's name. This guy's got a place. He's got a crown in heaven, I can tell you that. This teacher. And they have got a group of kids. I want to say they're probably from first grade to high school, and they learned to play instruments that were made from items out of the garbage dump. Literally made the violins. They got a cabinet. Got a guy there who's a craftsman,
and he goes 3 days a week and collects the stuff to make the instruments
and builds these instruments out of garbage. I mean, literally throwing away garbage. And you'll see the violin being played, and you'll see the label of whatever was on whatever the can was, And he plays a guitar. It's made out of 2 cans that look like they're cake cans.
The cello's made out of an old oil can, an old big oil bin, like a 30-gallon oil drum.
Right. Now you might think, well, they can't be much good. Well, by the way, some of the clarinets are made from drain pipes.
Yeah, the keys for the to play the notes are made with
gold coins
and door keys,
and one door, several little keys that you open a door with.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you think, what could come out of this? Well, guess what? It's beautiful.
Mozart came out of it last night. They played New York. New York came out of it. I mean, it was amazing.
It was amazing. And you sit there and think, how is this possible that this could happen. You know, you talk about doing the best of what you have. These kids in Couture, they were amazing. And the guy who was teaching was amazing. I said to my wife, you know, it's too bad they can't travel and go somewhere like Carnegie Hall.
They do.
Well, I know it, but let me just tell you, at this point in time in the middle of the story,
you didn't
I don't know this
Oh,
yet.
okay, I see. You said that to Miss Joni before you got all
in
the
the middle of the
information.
story. And, of course, as it turns out, that's exactly what they're doing now. And I got a couple of tweets about this I want to share. One of them is a Couture grandmother said, I feel this is a reward from God that our children who come from this place can play beautiful music. How great is that?
And his name is Fabio Chavez, is their teacher.
Great. Here's to you, Fabio. You're a great man. And then in the same program, in another story, there's a story about the Billionaire Club, and it was Melissa and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and some other folks who have this club. And what they do is to join it, you have to have $1 billion, and you have to agree in a pledge, written pledge, to give away half of it. Think about that. To give away half of it.
I like Warren Buffett. I like what Warren Buffett said about the people that said no to him.
Yeah, he's going to write a book.
How to live on $500 million.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was a wonderful story about generosity. But then I read this tweet. This is pretty cool. I don't know who the person was that wrote it. One of those billionaires should set up scholarship for those kids and perhaps bring them to the States on a tour.
Yes.
How about that for a project?
By the way, just so you know, the garbage picker turned luthier is Nicholas Gomez, known as Cola. That's the man that makes all these.
I know. He's an amazing craftsman. I'm telling you what.
He really is. He got a shop out there. I mean, it was one of those stories that pulls at your heartstrings.
It does. And you have to go on. You can go online in 60 Minutes, I'm sure, and see it.
Yeah, you can. There's stories. UrbanGarden.com has a story on it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff. I urge you to look at this story. If this doesn't raise the hair on the back of your neck, then you must not be human. It's fantastic. It's a place called Couture. It's a garbage dump in Paraguay, and it's amazing things happen. When we talk about, well, our education suffers, and it does, because we haven't got anything, we have no tools. All of that is put to shame when you see this story, because it shows you that no matter where you are and what little you have and your circumstances, you can rise up above it. It's fantastic. It is really a remarkable story and a great message, and I hope you'll take the time to listen to it.
Well, you know, there's a movie coming out it's a documentary that's going to be available in next year called Landfill Harmonic.
Yeah.
And it's a documentary about these exact children and this whole story. CBS did 8 minutes on it. This is a whole 93-minute documentary. And I will be one of the first to go to the movies if it's played here in Ocala and watch it.
For sure. Anyway, check it out. Okay.
What do you think of the Gitmo story real quick before we go?
Well, the Gitmo story was a little scary. Obviously, you're intrigued by seeing inside a place like that. You know, you see what struck me was the fact that these guards, they walk back and forth in this maximum cell, and they had to wear these face masks,
shields and disposable uniforms
because of what these guys throw at them. It's the bottom of the world.
What amazed me was that there's 164 prisoners at Gitmo. You know, some have been there 11 years, never been charged. One guy that's there, the English are asking for his release.
Right.
But out of the 604 people that have been released from that Gitmo containment, 101 of them have then been picked up or have done terroristic acts around the world after they got released. So I know it's a terrible place and everything, but
let me just say this. It's a terrible place with terrible people.
Right. There you go. I'll go with that. It's a terrible place with terrible people.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You guys want to do, which one do you want to do next? You want to do Dr. Buddy, or are you ready to go a little bit on factoids? Which one?
Well, can I give these away real quick or tell people how they can get them?
You go right ahead and give it to them.
These are 2 tickets, Level 1, Section 1, Row 9, Seat 13 and 14, to tonight's game, University of Florida versus Southern University. You have to pick them up today at the studio. All you have to do is tell me how many seasons in Billy Donovan's career at the University of Florida have been losing seasons. How many of the 18 years he's been here, how many of them have been losing seasons? If you know that answer, call the Climate Control Source hotline at 622-9622. Tell JJ the answer off the air. You don't have to come on the air. Just tell JJ the answer. If you first caller to get it right wins 2 tickets, great seats to tonight's game, the University of Florida versus Southern University.
By the way, or just offer to buy JJ a beer. He'll say you the winner.
He'll say you the winner, exactly.
It's very easy to do. He will take
Moon, you're good.
He's open for bribes, so he'll take this.
So.
All right, we come back. Let's do a little Dr. Buddy next. Talk about the kissing affair. Is it cheating? Well, we'll talk about that next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Your home for Florida State football all season long. WOCA, The Source.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Dad jeans for men and mom jeans for women are popping up in fashion magazines, and even stylish celebrities like Kanye West and actress Ellie Fanning are sporting them. Teens today are asking for rides on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram using hashtags like I need a ride, and it usually works. Dating experts suggest that when choosing a partner, look for one who's just as strong as you are.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Howdy folks, RL here. I want to tell you about the best $5 bargain anywhere. For a limited time, Dairy Queen at Silver Springs is offering a sandwich or chicken strips, fries, a medium drink, and a sundae for only $5 till 4 p.m. And new on the menu is the Orange Julius line of real fruit smoothies, including protein smoothies. Our fresh-made garden salads go great with a fruit smoothie. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
You've got got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
1370 WOCA.
JJ's playing some good tunes. I'm going to say factoids or fake for you here in just a minute. Got some pretty good ones today. Only 2 players today, too, by the way. Or is Austin coming in at 5 o'clock?
No, he's got class today.
Okay.
But then he's only going to come in for one segment during sports, and he's got to go referee a JV game.
Well, you guys can handle it without that. By the way, have you seen George Zimmerman's story yet? I just heard about it.
JJ is all over George.
Give me their update on that.
There's not really too much. There's not official charges that have been filed, but basically he got in a domestic assault with a gun and his new girlfriend.
I think JJ has like an instant alert on his phone
I love
anytime
this
George
guy.
Zimmerman comes up.
I think he's hilarious. He just can't stay out of trouble.
I think he thinks he's above the law. What do you think, buddy?
He's a serial troublemaker. And
who's dating George Zimmerman right now, by the way? Who's that female that's like, who's a guy that's on the market right now that I would love to be around?
Yeah.
One of the most hated men in America, George Zimmerman.
Well, I mean, number one, it makes you have second thoughts about Trayvon Martin after you see the conduct of this guy. You know,
Right.
I mean, you can't make the leap and say because he did this, he did that. But the bottom line is he's a bad dude. Is what he is. Let's be honest about it. He's a bad dude.
There's no denying that now.
And so
you know how domestics are, though. They have to take
wait.
somebody to jail, and this is all.
Hey, hold it.
Hey, listen.
Wait.
We have to watch the way we talk about.
Time out. It's not about the domestic case. It's about the number of times he's been stopped or arrested or whatever, or whether it's on a highway in Texas or whatever. And by my count, that's 3 times. We just called
those are tickets.
I don't know if you can say speeding.
Let's just
makes
say,
him a bad dude.
hang on. Brushes with the law, we call them, okay?
I wouldn't call that a brush with the law. When you get pulled over for speeding, you don't call that a brush with the law.
Unless you're a mother in New Mexico.
When you have been through what he's been through with, and the difficulty he's had in almost going to jail, which by the way he did, almost go to jail. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty and saying the guy's guilty. But I'm saying when you the conduct that you show after that makes one wonder about the character of the man. Would you buy that?
You should just stay in a room,
or
That's
something.
What you should be doing,
or something. Just look. Come on.
I wouldn't have a pistol anymore either.
The speeding
shouldn't
tickets,
have what a pistol.
Getting pulled over for speeding twice. That doesn't concern me because everybody speeds. What concerns me is the video you see of him breaking the iPad and throwing it to the ground, a domestic dispute with his ex-wife and their parents. Although no charges were filed, now another domestic dispute with a gun involved. Those concern me and make him a bad dude. Being pulled over for speeding, everybody gets pulled over for speeding.
I'm going to just say this and we're going to move on because I don't get stuck on it. When we talk about sports figures, and they're constantly in trouble one way or the other. Maybe it's not even criminal. They don't show up for class. They get in trouble on a date someplace. They get a DUI.
Staying out too
They
late.
they end up getting into an accident. It turns out they got 9 parking tickets, okay? These are not felonies, okay?
No.
Kind of gives you
But there is some athletes, though, that you would have to put in a different category.
So what you're saying is when you're Terrell Owens, you're still a bad dude.
I'm saying a bad dude's a bad dude. You can say whatever you want to. I'm not saying he's guilty of a felony.
Right.
I'm just saying that this is by now.
Right.
If he were on a football team, he'd be suspect of being a bad dude. Okay, well, look, I don't know if George's going to play for us because we can't count on the guy, right? So
look, I'll give you that.
Anyway,
that's all you get, no pal.
I don't really need your approval, so it doesn't matter. So
can't talk about George like that.
Let's go do some Dr. Buddy.
Let's do it. He needs some Dr. Buddy. With all his,
George Zimmerman
female
can use
issues.
some Dr. Buddy.
Very white. right, listen up, ladies. This is for you, particularly today, although it's for both of you. First of all, does it matter the date you get married? You think it really matters?
It's not football season.
Well, some people do that, but
who does that?
Does it matter the dates? Well, apparently so. I never thought about that when I got married.
What's your date, buddy?
My date is the 12th of August.
Okay.
But the date being apparently the 11, 12, 13 was so popular, there were 2,265 U.S. couples that got married.
On a Monday, right?
Tuesday. So apparently it's a big deal. I don't know. I wish them all the best.
That way they'll never forget, buddy.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't forget it anyway, right? I mean, I would never forget August the 12th. I don't care, whatever. But 12 is my favorite number, so it doesn't really matter.
You remember what year you were married, everybody?
Yeah. So that's number one, the date. Second, a couple of tips before we go to the kissing affair. Psychologists recently found that intelligent people are more likely to remain faithful while they're in a relationship. So if you're smarter, odds are you won't cheat. We know this thing we talk about while being friends if you're old with your ex. Psychology claims that if two past lovers can remain friends, it's either they are still in love or never were. And I go along with that, don't you? Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I don't want to be your friend if you were my girlfriend, all right? That's just how it is. All right, now listen, what's cheat? You can be cheating on your spouse or your significant other in the mind, regardless of whether you're doing it physically or not. You can be cheating. You can do it flirtatious ways. If your mind is on something besides the person you're supposed to be in love with or another person, then you got to begin to wonder whether or not it's really true love. Now this goes one step further. Let me ask you guys this question. This is a case where a woman is married 15 years and they have a daughter whose best friend is the daughter of the man she's having a kissing affair with. Kissing affair. You ever hear that before?
What does that mean?
She calls it a kissing affair because that's quote unquote all we do. Okay?
Weird.
He says Jeff's wife, Carla, doesn't like kissing. My husband, Ryan, doesn't like kissing. And somehow Jeff and I realize we like kissing each other. Are you kidding me? Like, that's okay?
Wow, dude.
Oh
what a great
gosh.
way to rationalize being
My
a
husband
cheater.
doesn't like it, and his wife doesn't like it. So we make out with each other.
Yeah,
to
but
pick
you
up
know,
the slack.
it just ends at that, you know.
She says,
first of all, I can't believe that it would even just stop there. You know,
Of
like,
course not.
oh, well, we got
Second off,
morals.
Second off, I'm consulting a divorce attorney if I'm the man.
Oh, look, we are naked in bed, but nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, she goes on to say, earlier this year, Jeff and I were both picking up our daughters from the dance class, and they were talking together, and we all went at the park afterwards. Jeff and I got to talking, and something weird happened when the girls were kind of out of sight.
Oh.
We kissed. I'm not sure how it happened. It just did, like magnetically. Sure. The magnets pulled you together, your mouths together.
I'm not sure how it happened. You
I'm
were
sure.
there.
It's called lust. That's what it's called. Okay, and are you asking, is it okay? Emphatically, no, it's not okay. And you are an idiot. So she says, so that happened, and guess what? It happened again. Well, surprise, surprise. We're just having good conversation.
The magnet just never hits them when their opposites are around.
Yeah,
You know?
and she says it happened again and again, and it keeps happening.
Yeah, well,
what do you
yeah.
think that keeps happening? You think that's where it's going to stop? What an idiot. There's no such thing as a kissing affair. Take it from Dr. Buddy. If you think that's okay, then you need to go find yourself another husband. Because what you're doing, lady, you're cheating on your husband, okay? You're cheating. You're a cheater. Don't do it.
You're exchanging body fluids.
Exactly.
You're cheating.
Dr. Buddy says emphatically, no.
My everything.
It's pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd like to see. She'd probably rob a bank. Well, how do you justify that?
Magnetic.
Well, I was broke.
No, the magnet.
Jeez,
It was
duh.
magnetic. It sort of pulled her into it, right? Unbelievable.
I didn't want to do that, but I had a gun in my hand, and the bank just pulled me in with a magnet.
The gun just sort of went off by itself. I didn't know.
Guys know when they're cheating. They don't have to, you know.
No, Bill Clinton has no idea he cheated. He said in a deposition that what him and Monica Lewinsky did was not sex. Yeah. It wasn't cheating.
I need to look that up in the dictionary, I think. Okay, it's time to take a break. We'll come back. We'll put off our factoids till the next segment, the next hour. We'll finish up the segment with tweets and quotes next right here. Coming up at the bottom of the top of the hour, the women's ministry. We got two ladies coming in the house who are going to tell us about what they do. And I got to admit, I think it's one of those areas we just don't ever think about. But Sylvia Edwards, Executive Director, and Greta Blanton from the Women's Prisons Ministry are going to be here to tell us about Extreme Solutions, why you should know about it. Coming up at 4 o'clock right here on The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information.
Cookies, 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 cookies. When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order. Cookies, cookies, Yum. cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies. The Great American Cookie Company.
Howdy folks, RL here. I want to tell you about the best $5 bargain anywhere. For a limited time, Dairy Queen at Silver Springs is offering a sandwich or chicken strips, fries, a medium drink, and a sundae for $4 till 4 p.m. And new on the menu is the Orange Julius line of real fruit smoothies, including protein smoothies. Our fresh-made garden salads go great with a fruit smoothie. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. It'll be warm and humid today with times of clouds and sun. There may be a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 81 to 85. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with some showers, low 64 to 68. Tomorrow will be cooler and turning less humid with clouds and a shower giving way to some sun, the high 74 to 78. For Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sun, maybe a shower, high 72 to 76. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Red alert.
All I got some tickets here for tonight's basketball game. It's real simple. I think you should just say give them whoever calls. Really, be honest.
All right, you want to do that?
Well, I mean, it's your tickets. You do what you want to, but
didn't you think it was a pretty easy question?
Well, it's easy for us. We're sports people, you know.
All right. Well, the first caller that calls in that wants to go to the basketball game tonight. These are brought to you by Center State Bank. They were donated by Center State Bank. 2 tickets to the Florida Gators Southern basketball game tonight.
Row 1, seat 1.
Row 1, no, level 1, section 1, row 9.
I'd say you should just make them call up and say Center State Bank.
Yeah, just call up and say Center State Bank. You're the
tickets,
winner.
You know,
First person that calls in the Climate Control Source hotline.
Pair of tickets.
622-9622 and says Center State Bank. You got a pair of tickets to tonight's basketball game at the University of Florida. By the way, the answer to the question: how many losing seasons Billy Donovan had? 2.
Okay, let's play some tweets and quotes because we can get out of town here. We got to do this real fast. Today's tweets and quotes brought to you by I don't know. Number 1. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you. Thomas Jefferson. Number 2, eventually all things fall into place. Until then, laugh at the confusion, live for the moment, and know everything happens for a reason. Anonymous. And finally, misquotations are the only quotations that are never misquoted. Hesketh Pearson. You want
that's pretty good there.
Yeah, it's a lot of wisdom. Coming up in the sports, I'm going to give you this, my 2 cents worth. My commentary on the Florida Gators after Saturday night's game. I'm going to tell you, you might be surprised. Now, that's what I'm talking about. I may surprise you in this, so stay tuned. Coming up at 5:15, we'll also have Franz Beard talking about tonight's basketball game against Southern. Stay tuned. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be talking about the Women's Prison Ministry, visiting with Greta Blanton and Sylvia Edwards right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
We got it together, didn't we? If you missed Dr. Buddy recently on The Voice of Ocala, you missed the saga of Bob, how Bob deals with his family and a new relationship.
The issue is the mind of the children, how they think about it. They don't know what's going on, right? He still wants to pursue keeping his family together because that's the most important thing to him above everything else.
Yeah.
So he says, I said, go back and talk to your ex-wife again and put it back on the table and just say, think about this and give me an answer. Then go to your children and make it known that you say, I don't want to live by myself. I'm trying to, I'm seeing if your mother wants to get back together. If she does, I would like to move back together, right?
So be sure to check out Dr. Buddy every Monday afternoon on The Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com, The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Hey, Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Hi, this is Joe, and I'm your host for the new show, Damage Control, every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m., brought to you by Damage Control Services. We're going to be discussing floods, fires, storm and tree damage, sinkholes, mold, and many other disasters that you need to know about, how to prevent and prepare for them, as well as what to do when it happens and what to expect after it happens. This is Damage Control, Tuesdays at 10:30, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Damage assessments and claims are pouring in from the Midwest following yesterday's outbreak of nearly 80 tornadoes. Violent storms hit a dozen states, with at least 6 deaths in Illinois and 2 in Michigan. Former Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman was arrested today in Florida after deputies responded to a domestic disturbance call at a house about 15 miles from Sanford, where Zimmerman was acquitted in July of all charges in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Medical researchers reminding doctors not to overprescribe antibiotics. Taking antibiotics when you or your child has a viral infection may do more harm than good. Authorities in New Jersey have handed up additional federal fraud charges against Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice and her husband Joe. Today's charges stem from a fraudulent loan application for a mortgage. This is ABC News.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed to help you lower your mortgage payments. It's for homeowners who are current on their mortgage payments, but due to the housing market may have little or no equity left in their home. And even if you were unable to get a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that now you may be eligible. More than 2.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of HARP and are saving an average of $250 a month. If you're one of the millions yet to take advantage, call us today at 800-QUICKEN. To learn more, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That number again is 800-QUICKEN.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry. We didn't leave you.
He's gone. He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
About your sensei.
Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
All right, welcome now to the program, Voice of Ocala, on a cloudy Monday. So it looks like it might rain. We'll see what the forecast looks like. Coming up in this segment, we'll talk to two women who are doing something in our community that I think, if you want to talk about unsung heroes, these are people that are unsung heroes, because people who go to prison are invisible to most of us. And I've never been in prison, but I just imagine it's not a great place to be, and there's not a whole lot of amenities in there. So to have someone in the outside world who really cares for you, other than your family, who checks in on you and is concerned about you and your soul, would be pretty neat. So I think there's room for people like Greta Blanton and Sylvia Edwards, and we'll talk about them in just a moment. Coming up in this segment also, we've got our fake and factoid segment. And in sports, I'm going to give you my commentary about the Florida Gator football team and my thoughts about Saturday night's game in Columbia. And we'll talk about Brett Favre, who over the weekend, by the way, made some interesting comments to NBC. And Matt Brower, listen to me, I'm talking. Matt Brower, about playing a game of football. Might surprise you. It's time now to welcome our guest in. She is the executive director of Extreme Solutions, Soulutions, I believe is the spelling, and with her is Greta Blanton, who I happen to know goes to Church of Hope, and I welcome both of you ladies in the show. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
I don't think we have Sylvia's microphone on, so we do have it on. Okay. Good to have you here, and I know you have lots of material. We're going to learn some things about Extreme Solutions, which I think is a fairly new organization. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, tell me about what Extreme Solutions is and what your mission statement is.
Extreme Solutions is a nonprofit 501c3 faith-based teaching organization with a mission of empowering people for a better tomorrow. And there's a group of women. We go into Lowell Prison 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday night, and do classes with them. We do classes on anger resolution, biblical foundation, sexual integrity, and self-identity. These classes include group discussions and provide insight into the very issues that led to the individual's crime. Mm-hmm. The students are required to attend the classes, be active in the classes, and complete all homework assignments. Now, the program is designed to combine education, life skills, and the preparation of participants to re-enter society upon their release from prison. That's our main goal, is to try to teach these ladies life issues that will help them stay out of prison, that they will not come back once they're out.
And the getting out part is one thing, the staying out is another.
Exactly.
And I know that's one of the things you said you equip people for, so they don't go back into the same rut. Let me ask you, thank you for that background information. Anything else I need to know before I start asking you questions?
No, that's fine.
Good. Okay, what I want to ask the two of you is, first of all, how old is this organization?
Extreme Solutions is about 13 years old.
Oh, it's that old, so I didn't know.
That old. But the women's prison ministry we're starting our 4th year in January.
Okay, so it's a women's prison. That used to be Lowell Correctional Institute. Now it's called Lowell Prison. Is that right?
Lowell Correctional Institution.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that. My mom was in law enforcement many years ago, back in the day, and I know it was called Lowell Correction then at that point in time. Right. And I don't know, a lot of people don't even know we have that prison in Lowell. Surprisingly, you didn't realize it's there. So I want to know, and we won't try to do this segment. When we come back, I'm going to ask both of you how you got involved in this, and about the relationship, and about, biblically, there were some people who had prison ministries. There were models for people in prison. It says quite literally in the scriptures there's a need for you to witness to or talk to or befriend or whatever prisoners. Exactly. It's just not something that's very much talked about this day and time. In our world, in your world, yes. But it is what I call the invisible people. They're gone. They're put away. They're out of society. Right. Off my plate. I don't have to deal with it anymore, But then what happens in there? And that's the part where you ladies are involved in and making the connections. Greta, I know you as well involved in all. I want to hear your story as well, too.
Sure.
So, but before we do that, this is strictly a volunteer organization, correct?
Yes, it is.
I know that at one point in time, my friend Thad Boyd was involved in Extreme Solutions. I don't know if he's
on the board of directors.
Okay, I know he was involved in that, and that was a big thing for him to get involved in that. Thad's a guy who's amazing what he's been doing lately, as we all know, and very much wants to help people. And so I think I would say that probably the majority of these people walking by in front of us out here going to the mall probably are not aware of something like this organization. Probably have no idea it even exists or what its purpose might be. So I guess my question is going to be to you when we come back is, how do you get that message out? The people in prison know about it, and you have some people who in a small circle know about it, but the broader picture, which is something I hope to do today, educate us about Extreme Solutions, about the women's ministry, and how it's funded, what needs you have, if you need more volunteers, et cetera, all those things I'd like to address with both of you, if that's okay.
Be great. Thank you.
All right. So we'll go ahead and take a break, JJ, right now. When we come back, we'll talk more to Greta and Sylvia about the Extreme Solutions of Women's Prison. Am I saying that right? It is Women's Prison Ministry, part of Extreme Solutions, correct? Okay, I'm going to get to, because I've been known to mess titles up a lot around here. I'm known for never getting a title right, including my own. I'm not even sure what mine is, so there you go.
That's okay.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back more with Greta and Sylvia right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. WOCA, The Source.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. This question was an internet question that Buddy received, and it was answered by Sheriff Chris Blair of the Marion County Sheriff's Department.
So there is this issue that you see a lot of things that a lot of people just couldn't look at. And I asked during the break the sheriff, is that something you can learn? And what did you say, Chris?
Well, I think you can. I mean, you just got to take it one step at a time, but the scenes we go on are certainly ones that they vary, just like investigations do. And, it's mind over matter sometimes because you know that it's your job and you got to move forward. So, I think you can get past it. It's going to take a little bit of time.
So remember to join us for Ask the Cop every second and fourth Friday from Community Gazette Day, live from Gateway Bank. It's brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victims justice since 1976.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Ugh, what wrong? Ugh, need wood for fire.
Ugh, I go get. Ugh, I got wood for fire.
Ugh, what takes so long?
Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper.
Ugh, my bad. You wash hands?
Ugh, of course. Ugh, what caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike Scott Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
To myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky.
I don't know. Maybe the Saints Go Marching In might be better, but in my mind, that song by Louis Armstrong is as good as it gets. Wonderful world. And by the way, news story we'll tell you about Sports Hour. Another Marion County High School football coach resigned. I think that makes 3 now. We'll catch up with that on the Sports Hour. Austin will be here along with JJ and Tom, and I'll tell you also about my commentary in the Gators, which I entitled, Now That's What I'm Talking About. Right now we're talking to 2 people who are making a difference in the community. You know how we love people, JJ, who make a difference in our community. We always say, get involved, get engaged, and do something about it. And I think we have to thank both Greta Blanton and Sylvia Edwards. Sylvia, the executive director of the Women's Prison Ministry at Lowell for Extreme Solutions. And we last left them. We're going to talk about some inspiring stories that you ladies have run across. Give me your you don't do this for any other reason than I know to help people, but your reward is seeing lives turned around. Who's got a story you want to tell about that?
That's correct.
All right, Greta, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and tell this one. We have one young lady, when she was released, she was determined to get her life back on track. She did not want to go back to and make the same mistakes she had made before. She attended our church and spoke at our church and explained what being in the program had done for her. And again, these women attend classes 4 nights a week, 2 hours a night. And in order to graduate, they have to have gone through the whole program. When she had graduated and she was released, she made an earnest effort to attend church and to attend other meetings that would help her keep her life back on track. And she spoke at our church, and one of the gentlemen at church heard her and was moved by her testimony, spoke to her after church, and offered to interview her. He said, "I really don't have a job position at this point, but I would like to it'll give her an opportunity to be interviewed for a job." And after visiting with her and talking with her, he hired her, and she still works there. And he said she's a very good employee, one of his great employee for his company. So those are the stories that's the reason we do what we do, is to help people really change their lives.
And I know, Sylvia, that the second chance hiring is a key part of the rehabilitation of people. Do your organization assist people like that to prepare them when they get out so they will be able to go and interview for jobs and get jobs as part of the curriculum?
Yes, we try to help them with their job skills, their resumes, how they dress, how they look when they go for an interview. We're also in the process of trying to set up a small business where when the ladies get out, they will be able to have a job to be able to support themselves. And we're going to do that right out of our offices. We have facilities, computers where they can learn skills that will help them get a job.
What about you, Sylvia? What is one story that's touched you so far in this whole thing?
We have one lady that's she's already finished her probation. She goes to a church real close to her. She got involved in Celebrate Recovery, which is something, we do the book Life's Healing Choices by John Baker, and the part of that when they get out is to join Celebrate Recovery at a local church. Mm-hmm. She did that, and she went to every service.
That's rehabilitation of sorts, so we all know. So it's not a code word or anything. It just means people who've had addictions and recovery. Yeah.
Right. And she worked all the way up. She is now like assistant director of Celebrate Recovery at her church. And she attends all the classes. She does work. She got a job. She had her own home, which that helps if they have their own home to go back to, which fortunately she did. So she's self-supporting. She's doing great. She's doing very well.
Which brings up the question: many of these women must have children, and when they go to prison,
some of them do.
And then what happens to the kids? I mean, either the parents or the spouse. What happens to the kids?
Well, in some cases, they do wind up in with child services, but in most instances that we've talked to, a family member or someone close to them, maybe even a spouse or a sister or a brother or an aunt or an uncle, I guess you'd say, will have the children until the person is released.
You know, we all have heard the story. Sometimes you have to reach rock bottom, to be able to get back up and go back to where to a level playing field. And I would imagine many, if not most, of the women in Lowell have reached rock bottom. And talk about some of those experiences that you've had with people who basically have just about given up hope, and you have to talk to these people and give them encouragement, at the same time realizing they're the ones who have to decide they want to get out of this position and do something about it, right?
Right. Some of our ladies, they've been in, like the one she was, the first example she gave, the lady had already been in 3 times, and she's only in her early 40s. But this time, by going through our program for a year, they go from January and they graduate in December. By going through her program, she made up her mind she was not going to go back. And it was alcohol and drug abuse and all of that. And she just made up her mind she was not going to go back. But she got whatever the things that our teachers instill in them, it stuck with her.
Yes.
She said for the first time in her life, it really hit home with her.
Then you have those that don't, unfortunately, which just breaks your heart.
Unfortunately,
breaks your heart to see them back in. You go in there and see them again and say, "Oh my gosh, they're back again."
Exactly. We have 25 ladies. This is our 3rd year. We're completing the 3rd year. We have 25 ladies that are out, and only one lady to date recently went back. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and it is heartbreaking when we give them so much of our time and effort to go help them, and then but if they go back to their old situation and get involved with their old friends and whatever, and they backslide.
Greta, why do you do this? What makes you do this?
I do this. One of the best examples I can give probably is at the beginning of the year, invariably you'll have someone who sits in the back of the class who doesn't speak, who keeps their head down, who is very uninvolved. And as time goes on, and we even had one who I'll use her, she shed a lot of tears sitting back there, but she wouldn't open up. And then when you finally see them they move up to the middle of the class. And then next thing you know, they're sitting up close to the front of the class. And the greatest joy was seeing her, the widest smile at graduation, and just the light come on in their eyes, and they do have hope, and you realize that they now know they can do it, and that it is possible, and that life can, they can accomplish what they want out of life.
Sylvia, how about you? Why are you doing this?
To me, my whole thing is to help people, especially women. I started off in this 30 years ago helping children, needy children. But to help needy children, you've got to help the whole family, and that's usually the mother.
Gotcha.
So the women in prison, they're the ones, when they go home, they're the ones to take care of those children. And hopefully they've been taken care of by, like Greta said, family members, and out of this, not in the system. And it's a reward to me to see these women go home, be reunited with their families, and then make a better life for themselves.
It's an old cliche. It's true, though. If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Exactly.
And in so many cases, the prevalence of drugs today is just incredible. And you can see, and I'm not making people blameless, because they have decisions to make, choices. We all make them, and sometimes they're not good. All of us make bad decisions.
Right.
Like my wife says, I just hope you can live with yours. That's the key. Yeah. And we make decisions, and some of these are so damaging if you get involved in meth or whatever, and it just leads to a life of ruin, it seems like. And to get out of the clutches of failure and just depression, it must be very difficult. So you come in with a stick of dynamite or whatever you want to call it, or a ray of light, and say, look, there is some hope here, right? You extend hope. Is that what you do?
Exactly. Yes.
As we try to encourage them, the rear view mirror is very small, but the windshield is very wide.
Yeah.
And you want to remember your past, but you want to get past the past, leave it behind you, go on. We've like you said, I've shared some of my personal life. I've made bad choices. We've all made bad choices at some time or other, but step out and go on and accept responsibility. The biggest thing too is that we really encourage, that we really work on, is accepting responsibility for bad choices. But they are just that. You're not a bad person because you made bad choices. Right. You've got to have faith in yourself.
If you keep making them, you're going to self-destruct. That's
exactly.
for sure. And by the way, just for those people tuning in, we're listening to Sylvia Edwards, Executive Director, and Greta Blanton from the. Do you have a title, Greta?
No.
Okay, good. Because I don't either. I don't even know what mine is. So good. So I'll just call you Greta.
That's good.
Extreme Solutions, and this deals with the prison ministry at Lowell. And by the way, I just have this little text here I think I would like to read from some guy. You might know this guy. Just came in. It says, Extreme Solutions is one of our local mission partners. We are providing Christmas presents for the children of parents in prison. Sylvia and Greta are incredible ladies. Love them. Say hi from me, Mark.
Mark.
So Mark Cummins is listening to you out there, and proud of you as well. So what do we need to know? I mean, first of all, if people want to say get involved in this organization or help in some way, what do they do?
Well, we need volunteers, definitely more volunteers. In the office, we don't have very much office help. And also, of course, money. We could use donations. Our funds, this is faith-based, so we get our funds from churches and individuals.
No state money, no tax money, no nothing?
No federal monies. No, we have no grants to work with. And it's just from people of their own heart giving money to the organization.
I saw 60 Minutes last night, this thing called the Billionaires Club, where they all got together and said they were at the place to sign to give away $500 billion. Hello, we're here down here. Come on now. We got a place for you, right?
There you go.
Bill Gates, if you're listening to the program, and the gang, come on down. We can use a little of that cash.
Absolutely.
And, Oprah, yeah. Come on down. We got room for you. We'll show you around. So we've got just about 2 minutes. Is there an address or a phone number or something for people who say, yeah, I'm interested. I'm not sure what, but I'd like to know more about it or whatever?
Right. The phone number is area code 352-694-4888.
4888.
www.
And your website is?
www.extremesolutions.com.
It's a spell.
It's X. not EX.
XTREMA, and is it spelled SOUL?
Correct.
UTIONS. So solution.
.org.
.org. Okay, that's one you have to remember. Extreme with an X, and then SOUL solutions, and .org. That means it's, of course, for the it's a voluntary group, and they're nonprofit. So how many people do you have in your organization?
Well, the board of directors is about 10, and then life coaches, and then the teachers and instructors. There's maybe 50 people all total.
I was just thinking about this. And maybe you already have it, wouldn't one of the most powerful things to be someone who's gone through the program and has come out and got their life together, come back and talk to the inmates? Is that possible or doable, or do you do that? Or
we can't right now. We're having graduation for this class December the 6th.
But I mean, at some point.
Yeah. Well, I tried to get the one she was talking. I tried to get her in, but she hasn't been out long enough.
I got you. Has to be out for a year or something.
It's a length of time.
It's 2
years. Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
Out.
Yeah. So, well, that would be a powerful story. Well, let me just say, thank you for what you're doing in the community.
Thank you.
Speak on behalf of everybody, saying that these invisible people, that they're there and sometimes in a dark place and with very little hope of getting out until you walk in one day and show them there is another way out. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say I second Mark's motion. And your Christmas present situation now, I know Church of Hope is buying Christmas presents
correct.
For children whose mothers are in prison, correct?
Yes.
So if you're interested in that, you come by Church of Hope and ask for whoever's there, and they'll, or Greta would probably be hanging around there someplace, or John.
Probably
or something.
at some point.
And there'll be still having the little trees with the names or envelopes, whatever. You can get one off, and yeah, okay, we'll figure it out.
Yes.
Just check it out, and you can always call the Church of Hope, and somebody will take care of you there. So, thank you, ladies. Congratulations on your fine work. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Have a great holiday season, by the way, too.
You do the same. Thanks for the opportunity to be
You bet. I'll say Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas all in one. There. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We got play our little game called Fake or Factoid coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala. Stay tuned to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of 2 study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in a neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
Alice?
Yes, George. George, you're all wet.
I went to Devon Self-Storage and put back my fishing gear.
Okay. You know Devon Self-Storage is open early and you had all day to bring your fishing gear back. And they're right across from Hobby Lobby.
I know. I have my own code to get into Devon Self-Storage. And their phone number, too, is 873-0777.
So why did you wait till it started raining?
I didn't. I slipped getting the boat out of the water.
Boat?
Bye!
George?
This is James Snyder inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy, right here on WOCA 1370.
Hey everybody, this is Kelly Hart, your new host of the Ocala Magazine radio show. Join me every Friday at 10 a.m. when we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life with in-depth interviews from and about your community. So don't miss Marion County's favorite city magazine, Ocala Magazine, every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
Program on a cloudy Monday. Some crazy stories out there today, including George Zimmerman. Also, a weird story. I saw the video, and I can understand the cop side of this.
I saw the video.
And before I go and give the story away, because I'm just going to tease your story so you can tell it.
Yeah.
A very weird thing happened today. I guess it was over the weekend.
It was actually October 28th.
Okay, well, it's a video we saw today on CNN. I did.
I saw it Friday night on the news.
Okay, well, anyway, it's a video, and it shows a woman being pulled over
in Taos, New Mexico,
with 5 kids in the car in a van. And all I'm going to tell you is they wound up shooting at the van. Now, from there, there's lots of stories to be filled in, but Tom, what's the story?
Well, Arenia Farrell says she was just trying to take her kids to go to the Rio Grande, to the river. She's in Taos, New Mexico, and she got pulled over for doing 71 and a 55. She got pulled over for doing 71 and a 55. She had her 5 children in the car with her. The dash cam video was recently released that shows when she got pulled over, police asked her to give her a license and everything, and she argued with the cops about, don't pull me, why'd you pull me over? I wasn't speeding, but she was doing 71 and 55 according to the police. Cop said, hang on a minute, he was going to go run her tag and everything, run her license and everything. He walked back to her car. She put the car in drive and drove off. He immediately pulled her back over again, and she pulled over to the side of the road. He walked up, opened the door, and told her she was under arrest for leaving the scene, and tried to get her out of the van, which at what time she started kicking and fighting with him. Her 14-year-old son then gets out the passenger side.
Well, it looks like he's about 6'2".
Right. Gets out of the passenger side, and he attacks the cop. The cop pulls out a taser. 14-year-old decides maybe that wasn't the best situation. So he goes to calm down. He goes to put the mother back in handcuffs. 14-year-old attacks him again. So this tussle ensues. Now, keep in mind, there are 3 other children, all under the age of 14, in the van. Backup gets there. Guns are pulled. The tasers are pulled. The mother and the son get back in the van. The one cop comes up with his baton. When she gets back in, she's trying to pull off, so he tries to break the window of the van with the baton. He breaks the window as she pulls off. As she's pulling off, another officer pulls his weapon out from behind the van and fires 3 shots into the back of the van, where, by the way, 3 children under the age of 14 were all sitting in the back seat of that van. The mother then goes on a 4-minute high-speed chase through the city streets of Taos. So she pulls up to the front door of a hotel. I think she thought that would give her protection or something.
You're getting a hotel, that's the way.
Where her and her son were taken into custody. And by the way, let me tell you what was found. She was charged with 5 counts of abuse of a child, aggravated fleeing of an officer, resisting an officer, reckless driving, and 2 marijuana pipes were found in the car. So she got charged with drugs.
So she did all that because she had
2 pipes in the car. Yeah.
And that 14-year-old has got to be charged with something, right?
He is. He was charged as well.
Because he assault on a police officer.
Right. And everybody's saying the cops overreacted and were overzealous and everything. First off, I'm not sure the cops knew that there were 3 small children in the back seat. And she fought with the cops and then tried to drive off for the cops. Now, I'm not saying somebody says yes, but the cop behind the van was not in imminent danger when she was pulling off. I understand that. I'm not saying that the cop should have shot into the back of the van, but watching the video and seeing everything, I understand how he came to that conclusion.
The cop could have probably legally shot the wife or the mom and the kid.
Right.
The way they were acting.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't really feel bad for them because they got their minivan shot up. They could have died.
The problem
they could have got killed by that cop.
The problem is there were 3 young kids in the back seat where the cop was firing into the back of the van.
That's the mom's problem.
If you just look at, I'm not saying this is right. Don't look at what caused it and what it led to.
Just look that he shot 3 times.
Watch what happens at the end. If all you saw that video was the guy bashing the window in with his baton.
Then the other cop shooting in the back of the van.
And the other cop shooting in the back of a van. It's not pretty.
No.
And it's really, you say, no matter what happened, how could you ever shoot into a van with 5 children?
But he may not have been aware there was children in the back seat.
You got to know when you shoot.
Well, there's a shoot the tires story that
I understand that, but you don't know that when you see it.
Well, they didn't shoot the tires out. The 3 bullets went into the back of the van.
He tried. You look at the cop. If you see the video, he looks like he's trying to aim his pistol down.
Right.
Who knows if they ricocheted up off the pavement or what?
Right.
But the bottom line is he fired that direction. Now, first of all, sloppy police work, in my opinion. I mean, to let them overcome a woman.
First off, to let you drive.
That lady should have instantly been.
They should have apprehended her right off the bat. That's number one, and got muscled by a 14-year-old kid. But nonetheless, I'm supporting the officers and the police in this because she was doing wrong.
Right.
But the result was a total overreaction, which in the end, there's almost nothing you could say that was justify a cop pulling out a gun and aiming in the direction of a van with 5 children.
Well, the police are going to tell you. The police are going to say, we didn't know the children were in there. One, and that doesn't matter because, like you said, they should know where they're shooting into.
Yeah.
But they're going to say, okay, she put it in drive, but she could have easily put it in reverse, and I was right behind the car. She could have tried to run me over. I had to protect myself. That's what they're going to say.
All of that may be fine. I just see the picture of the police shooting into the back of that van.
After the one guy runs up with the baton and breaks the window.
It's almost like a Trayvon Martin situation a little bit, although
now calm down.
What I'm saying by that is again, it's somebody being overly aggressive.
Well, speaking of Trayvon Martin, I think that's exactly why this is on the news too. If you notice the race of the family and the race of the cop.
Well, it's an issue that transcends race. I didn't know what the race of the people were driving, and it didn't matter to me. But the bottom line is that obviously the family, the mother, they all did wrong. And when you put, like you said, JJ, when you put yourself in harm's way and you start trying to wrestle a cop. Anything can happen to you.
You got to expect
a la Trayvon Martin.
Exactly.
Here's what gets me.
George Zimmerman was not a cop.
Here's what gets me about Gawker. Gawker puts it matter of factly. They said, a large scuffle ensued. The 14-year-old rushed a policeman. By the time backup arrived, one officer used a baton to break the window. Another cop, naturally, pulls out his gun and fires 3 shots into the back of a minivan filled with children ages 6 to 18.
Yeah, and what do you think is going to be played in social media? What part?
Oh, of course.
Okay, that's
fires into the back of the van with children.
There you go.
Gawker.
And that's the world of sound bites. That's what we're
the ultimate anti-gun website too, by the way.
All right, that's enough on that story. I got to get to each of the factoids in here, but I mean that alone, that's good. You'll be seeing that a lot.
I saw the brief thing on the news before they showed the full video, and I was like, when I saw just a snippet, the tease leading up to it, I was like, what the hell are those cops thinking breaking the window and shooting into that van full of kids?
That's my point, is that it's like a soundbite, okay? Okay, let's see if we can get this in.
We got plenty of time.
Well, we don't because we got so long.
We got 5 minutes, and I'm about to beat JJ's brakes off, so it doesn't matter.
Let's see about that. What's the score of this, by the way?
JJ's won a few. I've won more, and Austin's terrible.
No. See, you always.
I know. I think it's either like, since the new rules have ensued, I think it's either like 5-4 me or 5-4 JJ. It's one or the other.
Yeah. Anyway.
Whoever's winning is only winning by one time.
Well, I'll see. Today's winner will be declared.
And Angie Lewis has whooped our butt every time.
Here we go. All right, number 1. If you cut a starfish into pieces, each piece will grow into a completely new starfish.
True.
Correct. Number 2, 7,000 people with pillow-related injuries check into emergency rooms every year.
True.
I'm going to say fact.
You guys are hot. Both of you? Correct.
7,000 pillow-related injuries.
7,000 pillow-related injuries.
How many of them were done with girls in negligees?
Number 3, jellyfish live up to 60 years or longer.
True.
Fake.
It's fake.
Oh, well.
It's only about 30 years.
Only about 30 years.
No.
They still live a long time.
They do. Listen closely now because these could be tricky. Number 4, chocolate contains phenylethylamine, the same chemical released in the brain when you fall in love.
True.
I'm going to say fact.
It's true. Very good. What JJ
hadn't missed any, and I've only missed one.
Number 5, it's going to go down to the mulligan, looks like. Chocolate can help your memory.
Fake.
True.
It's fake.
JJ wins.
JJ wins. I'll give you guys your mulligans anyway. I declared JJ the winner. His team lost this weekend, so you made up for it.
Yes. Big win by the Bills yesterday.
By the way, you don't have to declare the winner. He missed none, and I missed 2.
No, I mean the champion. Number 1, you guys can take a shot. There's a group of kangaroo that's called a troop.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
It's true. A group of hyenas is called a cackle.
Yes.
Fake.
It's true.
So I'm down to, I've made both of them, so now I'm back to no missing. So
you're not. No. He already closed you out.
All right, here we go.
Number 3, a group of hippos
Hippi.
is called a herd, a bloat, or a crash.
A crash.
What's the second one?
Herd, bloat,
Herd,
crash.
a bloat, or a crash.
I like bloat.
No, it's true or false. It's herd, or
true.
It's called one of the 3: herd, bloat, or crash.
True.
No. It's, which one of the 3?
No, it's called one of the 3 things. That's true or false.
True.
It's called all those things.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Called all those things.
Oh. Well,
Still didn't get the question.
That's false.
It's a statement. A group of hippos is called a herd, bloat, or crash.
True.
It's true or false?
False.
It is true. There you go. And finally, a man once went to Las Vegas and turned $50 into this enormous amount of money. Just take a shot. It's for a fun question. Enormous amount of money, and then promptly lost it all before the end of the year.
$3 million.
How many?
3.
I went with 3.5.
3.5. How about 40 million?
Whoa.
Wow.
40 million and
Benny
lost it all. All right, there you go.
Was that guy's name Norm Macdonald?
Yeah. Norm Macdonald. I like his tweets, by the way. It's fun.
He has always been known for gambling a little too much on athletic events. Yes.
Yeah?
You didn't know that?
No.
One of my favorite comedians, buddy.
He's very funny. I saw him on Saturday Night Live.
Very deadpan.
Saw him live on Saturday Night Live in the studio.
Actually, at the show.
At the show.
Weekend
You
Update.
and Lori Martin?
He was one of the best Weekend Update guys ever.
He did it. Well, he did opening stuff.
Okay.
It was funny, very funny. Yes, that was Laurie Martin Gregory was in the crowd that night too, as a matter of fact. All right, let's see here. We'll take a break. We'll come back, wrap up this hour, and next hour we got lots of stuff to talk about, including yet another Marion County High School coach has resigned.
3 of them now.
That makes 3, and I'll tell you about my thoughts on Saturday night's game, Gator commentary about that's what I'm talking about. All coming your way next right here on the Voice of Ocala. Stay tuned for the final segment on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Your home for Florida State football all season long. WOCA, The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Cheese Chisholm. He's a graphic designer, a music producer, and one of the famous Harlem Globetrotters, coming out to speak to us about the 2014 Fans Rule World Tour of the Harlem Globetrotters.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Carol Ann Baldwin will be in the studio answering your questions about your garden on her show, You've Got a Garden.
Mark Deal is an inspirational speaker. He's written a book called 17, Book 1, and he'll be asking the question, are humans on their way to becoming a society of conformists?
And then Joe Rackle will be in the studio from Damage Control Services. He'll be talking about disaster restoration.
David Foreman is the herbal pharmacist. He's written a book called The 4 Pillars of Health, and he'll be speaking about the 4 fat saboteurs to weight gain, even if you exercise, eat healthy, and count calories.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
You've got a garden, and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, Ocala.
Back to the program on a Monday. Coming up, Sports Hour. Lots to talk about. Our thanks to Greta Blanton and Sylvia Evers, along with John Bird, who came in and visited us about Extreme Solutions. This is recapping some of the stories. George Zimmerman arrested again. Unbelievable. He's back in the news again. Dr. Buddy talked about a kissing affair today. If it's kissing, it ain't legal. Don't do it. And Also, I think I've gone ahead and declared JJ as the national champion of fake and factoid. I believe my calculation shows.
I appreciate that, buddy.
He's the national
the
champion.
The latest BCS rankings.
Yeah.
That's right, exactly.
You would never declare me the champion because you wouldn't want to have to live with my big head. That's the only reason you did
I have to live with it
I'm
anyway.
still beating JJ. You just don't want to admit it because that means I'm the smartest person in the room. I understand.
There's only one standings that counts, and I have to have them.
So the only person's opinion that counts to me is the guy right about. Oh, hold on, that is you. Never mind.
Okay,
Never mind.
There you go.
Never mind.
So anyway, coming up next hour, boy, what a game! It didn't quite live up to what we thought it might be, but you couldn't. It was certainly a very competitive football game. I usually don't watch Sunday night football because I'm so footballed out after watching it all day Saturday night. And by the way, I got to have the greatest wife in the world to put up with me sitting home sick watching football around the clock Saturday, Sunday. It's all I could do just about. And then I watched. Of course, you had to watch last night. Going back and forth between my two of my favorite TV shows. And by the way, on our show, Good Wife, that thing has got so many twists and turns. I feel like I'm on an obstacle course. Every time you turn around, it's another reversal. Another situation is wearing me out a little bit.
I like the little blonde, easy pushover investigator.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, playing Kalinda style investigator.
All of a sudden, she's in the picture, and she's. And then what is this? What is this girlfriend with Will?
The little bimbo.
Oh, she did kissing and hugging. I mean, how unprofessional is that for a law firm?
About as unprofessional as David Lee going to her and saying, Alicia Florrick.
Yeah, David Lee. I mean,
still a good show, though, buddy.
By the way, I think David Lee is a great character.
That guy.
He's a great character.
David Lee Roth.
He plays that character in that show.
Yeah, he's great.
I thought at one time Eli was the best character, but David Lee's the best character in that show.
You know, I read this thing about them building something for charity. Building some for the Sandy. They went and building houses. He's apparently a master carpenter.
He is.
So what you don't know about people. Anyway, I'm getting a little tired of it. And then the thing about is Alicia and Peter, are they married or what? My wife says, how come you never see them together anywhere? They're supposed to be married, but they're never together except he visits her office. And anyway, it wears me out sometimes. The plot is just so many twists and turns that it's still a good show, one of the best on TV, but maybe it's getting a little bit weary on the terms of the plots because I don't need to be shocked every time I turn on the TV to say, yet another one. And by the way, I'm on as far as the Mentalist goes. I know you probably watch that too, Mentalist.
Could we just get Red? Can we get Red John put in jail and be done with that, please?
I'm over Red John. So we're getting down to one now, finally. So it's getting a little long. So anyway, just a little weighing in on. You can talk about that.
And did
Thursday.
you not know Bartram was the guy? I knew he was the guy. Bertram was the guy.
And by the way, you can talk about it on Pop Culture Thursday. So stay tuned. We've got lots coming your way, including my commentary on the Florida Gators football team, their performance Saturday night. Stay tuned to the program called Buddy Sports Space next right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCH, The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Let's talk turkey. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. With the holidays coming and the in-laws already in town, I don't have time to go to the auction.
We need your help to stuff our lot with cars like a Thanksgiving Day bird. Quit that old car you hate, cold turkey.
Based on the sale price of the car you choose, you can get up to $3,758 more than the appraised value of your old car. Fed up with your old ride? You can drive a nicer, newer car today.
Is your credit fried? My For the People credit approval process butters up the bankers to help you get approved.
If I don't get more cars soon, I'm cooked. Help me stuff my lot like a Thanksgiving Day turkey. Based on the sale price of the car you choose, you can get up to $3,758 more than the appraised value of your old car. But hurry, this deal ends after we've helped 47 people get fat in a nicer, newer car. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi, Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
This is Austin Tapman reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
WOCA. Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Dad jeans for men and mom jeans for women are popping up in fashion magazines, and even stylish celebrities like Kanye West and actress Ellie Fanning are sporting them. Teens today are asking for rides on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram using hashtags like I need a ride, and it usually works. Dating experts suggest that when choosing a partner, look for one who's just as strong as you are.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Howdy folks, RL here. I want to tell you about the best $5 bargain anywhere. For a limited time, Dairy Queen at Silver Springs is offering a sandwich or chicken strips, fries, a medium drink, and a sundae for only $5 till 4 p.m. And new on the menu is the Orange Julius line of real fruit smoothies, including protein smoothies. Our fresh-made garden salads go great with a fruit smoothie. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
The search continues for people who may still be trapped in the rubble from yesterday's tornadoes in Illinois, where 6 people were killed. 2 others died in Michigan from the storm. You may have seen the shocking video of a traffic stop gone wild in New Mexico. Now 2 New Mexico state troopers are under investigation, and a mother and her 14-year-old son face charges. After the teen physically confronted one officer, the other trooper was seen on video firing shots at the minivan carrying children. In Buffalo, New York, an unruly fan who fell from the 3rd deck of the Ralph Wilson Stadium and landed on another man during the Buffalo Bills game yesterday, may face charges. The White House says 20% of Americans won't make it through the federal website to buy health insurance, even though the site is now working way better than when it first went online. About 30 students and staffers have been sickened by a carbon monoxide leak at a Utah elementary school. 2 were airlifted to hospitals. This is ABC News.
Realtors have expertise in land development and management, retail, industrial, office, and investment properties. They have the experience, knowledge, and savvy to help you achieve your business and investment real estate goals. Realtors also have the power of the National Association of Realtors behind them, working with legislators and regulators to support the key role commercial real estate plays in our national economy. Ask for a professional who understands your commercial business. Ask for a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and right now during Happy Honda Days, you could get a great deal on a 2013 Civic. It's packed with standard features like hands-free calling, and it's the first car in its class to receive an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. And if that's not special enough, drink in this holiday ditty from the legendary pipes of Michael Bolton.
The special time of year, it's filled with joy and cheer for me and you.
Everything's a little more special during Happy Honda Days. See your Honda dealer today.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here. Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the phone house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it. Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Hey, welcome to Buddy Sports Page on a Monday. Lots to talk about. A big weekend for football. Lots and lots of games. We'll go over some of those, talk about some of the incredible plays, some of the wins by teams, some inspirational play by teams that lost, and lots of stuff to talk about regarding the upcoming playoffs, who's jockeying for position in the BCS. It's getting closer and closer, and we'll tell you what Urban Meyer has to say about that and story we just read about. And another local high school coach has resigned. Tom Schmitz, that makes 3 by my count. Now Jason Robinson at Lake Worth High School.
Jason Robinson resigns today at Lake Worth High School after a 3-year run where he compiled a 7-22-1 record. He was 3-8 his first 2 years, 1-8-1 this year. He steps down. He will not, however, step down as athletic director. He will remain as athletic director at Lake Weir, so he'll be prominent in the hiring of his replacement. But he steps down. And then, of course, on Friday it was announced that Frank Beasley had stepped aside. Beasley said it felt like time for a change at Denellen. Beasley was 9 years at Denellen. Here's the amazing fact. The Tigers never suffered a losing season under Beasley. He leaves with a 59-33 record, includes 2 district championships. His 59 wins rank him second all-time at Denellen behind Richard Kennedy. So that was kind of a surprise. And then also out is the Westport Russell Holly, the coach at Westport, who was hired as the offensive coordinator at Westport. But then when Ryan Hearn left in the middle of the summer to go to Admiral Farragut, Holly was named head coach. He went 1-9. And the athletic director, Robbie Lindeman, could not be reached by phone, but he did respond to a text message from the Star Banner. And the text message said very succinctly, "We thank Russell Holly for his work with our football program. We're going in a different direction."
There you go. A little good news for CF basketball. The Patriots losing a game earlier in South Carolina, step by step on the way back, and Austin's Statman Tatman has a report on that. The Patriots won another one.
Yes, sir, buddy. They won 84-56, which makes their 30th consecutive win on their home floor. They were up by 23 at halftime. They were led by Chris Bryant, who's one of their star forwards. He had 14 points, 11 rebounds. Rodell Wigington, 14 points. Suarez, 10.7 assists, which is a point guard. Javante Douglas, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and held South Georgia State to only 19 of 66 shooting. So stifling defense, and they took care of business.
All right, thanks, Austin. JJ, there's news. What do you got for the headlines?
Yes, headlines today. BCS came out last night. Bama, obviously still number one after sort of a closer win against Mississippi State than people thought. Florida State, big win this weekend, stays at number 2. Ohio State didn't look, I guess, impressive enough against Illinois.
Just won by 30 or whatever.
Yeah. So Baylor creeps up on them, and they're now within a couple hundredths of a point after their defeat of Texas Tech this weekend. Auburn, after a humongous, one of the craziest Hail Marys besides the Bluegrass, whatever it's called, Miracle, LSU, Kentucky.
Music
this is
City
probably no, that's with Frank Wycheck and the Titans, buddy. I'm talking about the Kentucky game against LSU.
Oh, okay. Well, it's one.
Maybe the craziest Hail Marys I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And Urban came out today and he said he's not too happy with the BCS, says it's the best system we have right at the moment until the playoffs come out. And even people won't be happy about the playoffs because there will be a 5th team. What are they going to say? He said the system is flawed today. And Ed Orgeron, after...
By the way, Urban benefited from that system quite well. So.
Yes, a couple times. Ed Orgeron, who is 5-1 since becoming the interim head coach at USC, and after defeating the number 4 Stanford Cardinal on Saturday, 20-17 upset, came out today and said, I want to be the head coach at USC. I love being a head coach. I think it's something I'm able to do and do well. I want to be a head coach at USC. When I get the chance, I think I can perform on a very high basis to do what the Trojan family wants me to do. Obviously, they're looking for a bigger name than that, you would think, but if he wins out, it's kind of hard not to hire this guy. And in the NFL yesterday, the Bucs win again, beating the Falcons 41-28.
Hammered the Falcons.
The Jaguars lose again after they're getting their first win of the season, and the Dolphins won again 20-16 yesterday.
Wait a minute, did you say 2 out of the 3 teams in Florida won?
Yes,
that's
amazing.
The first this season, isn't it?
Yes.
Probably.
And the Broncos in the big game yesterday against the undefeated Chiefs win at home 27-17 after Peyton missed most of the week in practice. He looked all right.
All right, thank you, JJ. Appreciate that. We'll tell you some things about the latest in the Tim Tebow rumor mill. I've got my commentary in the Gators. They're losing to South Carolina Saturday night in a very gallant effort. Not quite good enough at the end, but they took the Gamecocks to the max and then took all they could do to win that game. And I think, by all accounts, a good performance by Will Muschamp's team. I'll give you my thoughts about that. We'll talk a little about the Alex Smith-Peyton Manning matchup, if you want to call that. Brett Favre had some interesting things to say to Matt Lauer about football. And should we give the USC job to Ed Orgeron? Interesting. You got to think maybe that something's going on here because there's been, somebody's interviewed for the job already, and we know who that is. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about that and the inaccurate reception. I love that name. That's one of the ones that they tweeted. The inaccurate reception. We look back on what happened with the Carter Lewis's catch. How will it be judged in football annals? Well, it happened to the Georgia Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs have had football karma on their side, and maybe this balanced it out. I'll tell you about that also next. Stay tuned. Coming back on the other side right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist, is your comprehensive medical, laser, and surgical eye care specialist for Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties. He offers services for cataract surgery, diabetes, glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, as well as a routine comprehensive eye exam. Call 873-7200 for an appointment today. No referral needed. Dr. Hunt accepts Medicare as well as most insurance plans and files the claims for you. Dr. Hunt has performed thousands of successful procedures. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to protected by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
What's better than 12 days of Christmas? 12 days of presents, that's what. So that's exactly what we're going to give you. Tune in every day between now and December 2nd for your chance to call in and get your name in the Christmas Bowl. Then on December 2nd, we'll draw a name on air during Fun with Joe at 11:45. The lucky listener will have 12 minutes to call in and claim that prize. If not, it rolls over to the next day and some other lucky listener can win your prizes. We're doing it for 12 days, so you could win it all. Prizes like a wine basket from Island Grove Winery, or how about a $600 Reactor men's watch from Gem Galleria? It's the WOCA 12 Days of Christmas Presents giveaway. Remember, listen for your chance to get your name in the Christmas Bowl, then listen every day at 11:45 when your name could be called. Call us back within 12 minutes and it's yours, but miss it and it's coal in your stockings. So tune in, call in, and win on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Looking for hand-cut steaks or just plain good food made from scratch daily? Then head over to Cody's Original Roadhouse for a fun, casual, family-friendly meal. Plus, don't miss the best happy hour with 2 for $1, everything from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, including Top Shelf. Unwind and watch your favorite college or pro team on one of our many high-def TVs. Cody's, you won't go home hungry or broke. You'll just go home happy. Cody's Original Roadhouse, where quality and value come together.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Hi, welcome back to Buddy Sports Page on a Monday. Okay, so we knew that there's a good possibility that Alex Smith would not be Peyton Manning.
Well, Vegas line
8 points.
Yes.
But and it measured out about like everybody said that's what they expected. The Chiefs are very good. They got them again at their place in a couple of weeks. Right. Home field advantage for the Broncos.
2 games in 30 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's a tough place to win. I tell you, Kansas City traditionally has always been hard place for Broncos to play. I've been there probably 8 times for Bronco games.
Kansas City, you're talking about?
And it's probably I've been a lot. It's
one of the loudest, you would say, in the NFL.
Well, it's some of that stadium. It's cold and windy in December, which is where they usually play them.
Yeah,
it really gets. It's just you kick the ball. It's like kicking a brick, and it's different kind of cold than Denver, which is a little lighter. But Mile High's no picnic, believe me. But Kansas City, traditionally in the wintertime, has been a very hard place for Denver to play. So
that Midwest cold, buddy.
Yeah, it's a bone chilling to the bone. I mean, it's cold.
I've only been out there a couple times. I have been through Kansas City once, and it was in January, and I do remember that.
Put to you like this: the press
fun.
box fogs up. You can hardly see outside in December. Anyway, but last night's game, great setting. We saw from Peyton Manning. I got to give the guy a lot of props for playing with a bum wheel. They taped him up like to put 2 boxes of tape on him, and his line protected him beautifully. And they ran the ball okay. They made good throws, made good decisions. I think maybe Kansas City didn't play its best football, but nonetheless, give props to the offensive line of the Broncos, and of course they wound up winning by 10 points and did not covered the spread. So good football game, fun to watch it. A game that I've enjoyed watching, as I said.
Both these teams will see in the playoffs. Doesn't really matter about the matchup.
Seattle fairly impressive too. Oh, it's that game. They're getting their people back now. They're starting to get into. Really, Seattle used to be in that division. If you remember, they were in the old days. They were in the AFC West.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and that was every year. Broncos played Kansas City, Seattle, the Raiders. They used to be a good division. Now, of course, they're in the NFC conference. But it's going to be the West Coast is going to have some good teams.
Huge game tonight on the East Coast, though. New England, the underdog.
Yeah, 2.5 for 3 points underdog
at Carolina, who's won 5 straight. Very quietly, one of the best teams in the NFL right now.
I've not really followed them, but I just know everybody's talking about it. They've been under the radar, haven't they?
Cam Newton's stats are very good this year.
Their defense has been playing well, apparently, too. So I'll look forward to catching up on that team because, these teams can fall between the cracks sometimes.
In the NFL, it's so watered down. Everybody's so even, it seems like. This team will come out of nowhere. What is it right now, week 9? And you're just now hearing about the Panthers. They're 6-3.
There's so much mediocrity, which is
man.
By the way,
that's what makes it hard to watch this year. Almost.
Parody is a code word for mediocrity. But anyway, there's a lot of that right now, and nobody's jumping out except those teams we mentioned.
Eagles also look good.
Yeah.
Win their first 6-5 team after 11 weeks to win your first home game is sort of insane. Nick Foles is really the man.
I mean, 500 might win the NFC East. I'm telling you.
They're in first right now. The Cowboys in second.
So anyway, all that stuff going on, and then college football.
Yes.
That play will go down in history as one of the most unusual, bizarre plays in college football history. As Auburn out of time on 4th down
and 18,
Nick Marshall flings it downfield. Not a bad pass, by the way, considering everything. And Marshall can throw a deep ball pretty good, and it bops off not one but 2 Bulldog defenders right into the hands of Ricardo Lewis, who I don't think broke stride. Just kept running and right on.
In the last second, he brings his eye down
and there's
to
the ball.
Get that. Ooh.
That's divine intervention, which is why they're calling it the inaccurate reception. But here's the one I want to say about that. Okay, Bulldog fans, I know it's heartbreaking for you out there, okay? But it's karma. That balances out a little bit the Lindsey Scott miracle with the football gods. All Gator fans remember that game, Georgia, Buckbaloo to Lindsey Scott for 78 yards, whatever it may be, and broke the hearts of the Florida Gators. So it all balances out.
That's just Georgia's season in a nutshell, basically.
It has really been a tough year for Mark Richt. It's been a tough year. Those guys, and for Aaron Murray to play, he was a baller. You see him stuck that head in there at the goal line, got his bruise in his forehead. I didn't know if he was in or not, but boy, I tell you, it was a supreme effort and got that touchdown. And then to come back and lose like that, wow, what a heartbreak.
I didn't think they had any chance to actually even come back. Then they take the lead. You're thinking, okay, 4th and 18. Yeah, absolutely. I love hearing the broadcast of the local radio guys.
It's the best.
Because even them, the Auburn fans / commentator, basically, all right, 4th and 18, they're going to the line. He knows there's no way for his team to possibly win. How am I going to broadcast the last incomplete pass play and say we gave up a big lead, Auburn loses. And to have your emotions totally go into whack when something
180.
absurd happens like that. It's amazing to hear. And the complete opposite from Georgia radio guy, too.
Yeah, that shot of all the Georgia defensive coaches falling over in the grass was
very funny.
You kind of got to feel bad for them in a way. I mean, but it's football. Best catch of the year will go down as one of the best maybe ever. If you look at it over and over, do you guys see that J.J. Wharton reception?
UCF on their way to hopefully a BCS game.
And almost getting beat by Temple.
Which would not have been legit. They were on the road.
Very good.
No, the Temple team was not very good. And it took an insane catch and then a last-second field goal after a pretty quick drive. Because that was just the game-tying catch.
Yeah.
But UCF, they drop in the polls, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to go to a BCS game probably. The conference, they're in the American Athletic Conference this year.
Blake Bortles, 2 minutes left to go, and for the win over Temple. So
they are the second best team in the state of Florida, buddy.
Yeah, they're very quietly the second best team, but props to O'Leary and the team down there for the job they've done. Now, which was the most impressive win of the weekend in college football? Was it?
Got to be USC.
USC over Stanford, you think? Maybe?
I think so.
How about Duke over Miami, though? Given the history.
Yes.
You got to say.
They've always sort of been Miami's bogey team the last 5 or 6 years, but you never think they actually have a chance of winning. And not only did they win against Miami, they pretty much did whatever they wanted on the ground, put up 48 points against the Miami defense that isn't that bad, and stopped them when they needed to stop them and won by 18 at home. And now they're on pace to play Florida State in the ACC championship game in Charlotte later this year.
Pretty amazing.
Duke winning their division.
The great stat of the weekend, somebody mentions it, I forget who it was, said, how about that? Miami wins the ACC in basketball and Duke wins the division in football. How about that in the championship
Very
game?
crazy.
So, who would have thought? But a program, last time it had any kind of success like this, the coach was Steve Spurrier. And they won
a few years ago.
Won the ACC championship in 1989. And when he was coaching
That was
Duke.
probably when 89. Okay.
Yeah, 1889, and he was
1889.
Yeah, 1989. Yeah, and then
Was
the next
South Carolina still in the ACC back then?
No, I think South Carolina might have been in the ACC. Yeah, ACC, I believe. You can look it up. I'm pretty sure they were. Yeah, in the ACC. But nonetheless, that was the last time. And for Duke to have a chance to play for a championship like that, that's unheard of.
Well,
and, David Cutcliffe, by the way. David Cutcliffe.
He's a good football coach.
Talk about a football coach. By the way, he was fired at Ole Miss, and the coach they hired in place was Ed Orgeron. And, for a guy, talk about a guy that under the radar now, Cutcliffe, there's a reason Peyton Manning goes down there and spends time with him all the time, because he's a former offensive coordinator at Tennessee. And he's done a great job. It's good to see Duke back, And Vanderbilt. How about that?
Vanderbilt, if they can
Who
win,
did they play?
Kentucky. And they play Tennessee. And if Vanderbilt can win out, is it Franklin?
James Franklin.
That may be a better job than what Cutcliffe's doing at Duke.
Well, I think Franklin's had offers before, and this might be the time he might take it, because there could be some good jobs open. And Cluton won at USC, which I am not thinking that Pat Hayden's going to offer to Ed Orgeron. Now, let's talk about that for a second. What do? On one hand, you cannot question that this team has played the best football it's played in years on the Orgeron. They play for him. They like him. That he gets response. They won a big, huge game beating Stanford. And so now you say, well, yeah, but he got lucky. Well, when do you say it's skill? And when do you say the guy can coach? What hurts him is he won like 3 SEC games at Ole Miss. His resume's not real good, but you can tell by watching him the respect he has from the players on the field, can't you? You can tell they really love this guy. They play for this guy. The exact opposite of their fired head coach. And their
defense is nasty.
It is.
It's the same defense that gave up 60-something points to Arizona State the day before, or the night before, the same night, I guess, as Lane Kiffin's firing. It's black and white. It's really insane how they've turned it around the last few weeks.
Yeah,
6 weeks.
I don't know if you guys were having to make a decision today. Let's say that somebody else came calling and you knew Ed Orgeron was going to be hired by, make up a school.
Utah.
Utah is going to hire, well, it won't be Utah, but let's say, okay.
Make up a school.
Yeah,
okay.
But I was thinking about a team, a school that might look for a coach.
Kansas.
All right. Kansas, yeah. Which they'd be lucky to get Ed Orgeron,
Right.
but Kansas. Although Charlie Weiss, of all things, wins one. Wow. How bad do you think things are in Morgantown today?
Oh, man.
Oh.
That's the first time Kansas has won a Big 12 game in years, I think.
Unbelievable. Talk about losing to Vanderbilt. That was bad enough, right?
All right, so let's go back to your point.
Ed Orgeron.
Yes.
Hire him or not hire him?
At USC?
Yeah.
I don't think
I'm
you
not a
hire him.
USC fan.
I don't think you hire him.
So I would say hire a guy who would go 5-1 right now and do the things that he's doing with the team that he's doing them with. But I know USC fans are probably going to want, the Jeff Fishers of the world. Even Pat Hayden came out and said we're willing to pay $6 million a year to whoever we hire. You're not going to have to pay Ed Orgeron $6 million a year. So they're obviously going for the big name out there.
Where in and Tom, I'll ask you this question because you followed this team when he was there. Where in Jack Del Rio's DNA does it say he's going to win, do a better job than Ed Orgeron at USC?
Oh, it doesn't, because Jack Del Rio, first off, Jack Del Rio I don't think does a better job than Ed Orgeron, because Jack Del Rio has no in anybody's living rooms. He has no coaching staff that has ins in anybody's living room. He's an NFL guy and always has been an NFL guy. I don't think that's where you go, but I do not believe USC goes with Ed Orgeron just because that's not the sexy name that gets the boosters that spend the money at USC excited. This isn't going to be a decision Pat Hayden makes. This is going to be a decision that the checkbooks that pay Pat Hayden and pay the program make, as it is with all major. Look, you don't think Jeremy Foley called in a couple of the huge bull gators and told them that Will Muschamp was the guy and ran that past them before he made the decision?
I'm sure he did, but he kept it really quiet, I can tell you that.
Right, but it happened. I promise you. So I think when you get the big name guys at USC, they're spending the money, and you say, hey, I think we're going to go with that Ed Orgeron guy. Yeah, well, go ahead and go with him out the door.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not sexy hire. You're right.
There's still a game against a little school called Notre Dame and a little school called UCLA.
Yeah.
So, if he wins those two on top of beating Stanford,
I still don't think you convince big money USC.
it's going to be hard.
And it's a private school. They don't have to do things, the way public schools sometimes
Is that
have
a
to
private
do. Yeah,
school?
USC is a private school.
Did not know that.
Keyshawn Johnson said today.
He's not going to be the head
coach. Said,
we can only hope that he will be.
I believe he said that hiring the Orgeron would be the right thing. It wouldn't be the sexy choice, but Lane Kiffin was the sexy choice.
Yeah, look
how'd
what
that
happened.
work out? And so the question is, if you were a USC alum, who would you want? I'd still take a look at Kevin Sumlin.
And Pete Carroll wasn't exactly like the biggest name of all time. When he was hired, USC was sort of down like they are now.
John Robinson was there for a long time.
And remember, Pete Carroll was a flop in the NFL.
Right.
Then he took over USC, and now he's doing okay in the NFL. But originally, he was a flop in the NFL.
Talk to the Super Trojan fan tomorrow, Tom James, and see who he wants. But right now, here's my thing, and I'll make this point a little later on.
O.J. Simpson.
Who you got better?
Right.
Right now, there's a couple people, but how much is it going to take to get them?
But really, not.
There's a couple bigger names.
No. See, and I don't think that way. I think just like you said. I think you got to take a hard look at Kevin Sumlin. But it's going to cost you a little bit of money to get Kevin Sumlin away from Texas A&M.
That's a $6 million, he said.
Here's why. And here's why. You know why I said $6 million?
That would make him the highest paid coach of all time.
While you may not want to believe this, buddy, I know you believe this because you followed college football a long time. Whether people like to admit it or not, Texas has a lot of money. Texas A&M ain't very far behind. There's a bunch of money at Texas A&M.
Yeah, they got a lot of money there for sure. They can get who they. If money was the issue, they'll get who they want.
Right, exactly.
Money is not the issue. Throwing a bunch of money at a guy is not always the right answer.
But Kevin Sumlin's not going to leave you. If Kevin Sumlin is as smart as I think he is, I think he goes to Texas A&M and says, "Did you hear?
I honestly
USC's going to pay up to $6 million, and I'm on the short list."
Don't worry.
I honestly don't think I don't think Kevin Sumlin's even a guy who they're willing to, hire anyways.
They've already said, Pat Hayden's already said he's somebody he'd take a look at.
Well, he would, but here's the
I
deal.
think they're going to get one of the old alum former NFL coaches.
Like who?
Fisher, maybe Del Rio.
Jeff Fisher's not leaving St. Louis.
Let me tell you something.
He likes where he's at.
Let me just say one thing about that, JJ. It's a different game. When Steve Spurrier was at Florida, and he danced with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they offered him basically a check to say, how much do you want to coach the Bucs? He turned them down. And I said to Steve in a private moment, boy, you better be glad you turned them down. Why? I said, because, Coach, you haven't been around NFL players lately, and I have, and I had been for quite in Denver. I said, it's a different athlete out there. You would not like coaching these guys, I'm telling you. And he said, you know the guy coached the NFL? I said, that's not what I said, Steve. I said, you wouldn't like coaching these guys, I'm telling you. So what happened? He went to the Redskins, and what didn't work out? He didn't like coaching. He didn't like the whole deal. It really wasn't his game. So there's a big difference for Jeff Fisher.
I know that, but I'm not saying that they would be great.
But
I'm just saying
talk to you. Here's the difference. Going to a living room of a 17-year-old and talking to their parents. Is that Jeff Fisher? I don't think so.
But it is a big name behind Jeff Fisher, former NFL coach. That looks good for a 16, 17-year-old kid, too.
Yeah, what did John Gruden say when he was asked about coaching college ball?
He don't know nothing about it.
No, he said, I told my guys, my boys at home, I've been spending some time with them.
I don't want to coach hang around these 18-year-olds all day.
So and he was only half kidding about that, So it's a different game.
So you can cut in the pros. Jeff Fisher, somebody that says something to Jeff Fisher he doesn't like, somebody says something to Jeff Fisher he doesn't agree with, he can just go cut them.
Well, salary cap, though. You still got salary cap.
But in college, you sign a contract with a kid for a year scholarship, you're stuck with him for that whole year.
Yeah, somewhat. You can put him in the taxi squad if you want to. You can put him make him go out and run laps every day, whatever. Anyway, so which do we like? Duke over Miami or USC over Stanford as the big win over the weekend?
USC.
USC.
Because Duke is better than people thought they were.
All right, so everybody's talking about Urban Meyer. We'll talk about that next, about his team being third and Baylor coming after him. Only how much of a point?
200ths of a point or 2,000.
AP's got him already moved up there. AP moved Baylor up there. But, let's face it, Alabama didn't kill Mississippi State, okay? Here's the quote of the day in football. Nick Saban, we won the game, but we didn't beat the other team, if that makes sense.
Yes.
21-0. They struggle a little bit with Mississippi State. No one's talking much about Alabama right now. Yet, if you beat somebody by 30, it's not enough. You get knocked down. So it's a crazy system. So, all right, guys, I've been very critical of the Gators.
You have been.
And I watched the game and took note, and I'm going to have a comment about that when I get back. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and we'll also talk about a proposed stadium in Richmond for the Flying Squirrels. How that's going, huh?
Richmond Flying Squirrels.
Flying Squirrels, exactly. So,
okay.
We'll take a break, come back, and whatever else these guys want to talk about today on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on The Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Robert Hagee and his staff at Ocala Copy Center would like to wish you and yours a happy and prosperous holiday season. Remember, for all your copy needs, it's Ocala Copy Center, 1107 East Silver Springs Boulevard. They want to make your copies.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Cheese Chisholm. He's a graphic designer, a music producer, and one of the famous Harlem Globetrotters, coming out to speak to us about the 2014 Fans Rule World Tour of the Harlem Globetrotters.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Carol Ann Baldwin will be in the studio answering your questions about your garden on her show, You've Got a Garden.
Mark Deal is an inspirational speaker. He's written a book called 17, Book 1, and he'll be asking the question, are humans on their way to becoming a society of conformists?
And then Joe Radkel will be in the studio from Damage Control Services. He'll be talking about disaster restoration.
David Foreman is the herbal pharmacist. He's written a book called The 4 Pillars of Health, and he'll be speaking about the 4 fat saboteurs to weight gain, even if you exercise, eat healthy, and count calories.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. It'll be warm and humid today with times of clouds and sun. There may be a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 81 to 85. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with some showers, low 64 to 68. Tomorrow will be cooler and turning less humid with clouds and a shower giving way to some sun, the high 74 to 78. For Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sun, maybe a shower, high 72 to 76. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
You're the cutest thing that I ever did see. I really love your beaches, want to shake your tree.
JJ said earlier, Urban Meyer called BCS a flawed system, and said it was great for a while. And, yeah, Urban, you're my friend, but, hey, I wouldn't complain much about that. It was awfully good to you, especially in 2006. So
He did just about everything that happened.
Well, I mean, he's in a position now where he's seeing the opposite happen to him.
Right.
Could still go the other way. Could still go the other way. But right now, with Baylor putting the pressure on, there's probably no way Ohio State can beat Indiana by enough this weekend.
No.
If Baylor goes into Okie State in Stillwater and beats the Cowboys,
There's no if they're
gonna
win
go,
that
they're
game.
Gonna jump.
JJ still won't believe.
They're going to jump.
Oh,
There's
I
no
will.
question. He'll
So
jump.
if Baylor goes into OK State
But I don't
and beats
think-
OK State, then you'll believe all of a sudden?
No, I don't believe they'll go undefeated because they still have Texas and TCU after that. I think Texas is a pretty good squad. Even
Oklahoma
though,
State's better than Texas.
right.
It's getting beat again.
But I mean, you can't necessarily say because this team beat this team, that means this team's going to beat this team.
Baylor is very good.
Right.
That's all I know.
All right, so let's switch subject for a second, and we'll get back to this Flying Squirrel Stadium.
I want to get to that right now. Flying squirrels.
Let's get on this. I want to tell you about my thoughts on the Gators. Here's my talk, my take on that, which is basically, as I said, that's what I'm talking about, all right? Some of their arrogance is gone now, and they are finally learning how to play as an underdog, which is what you need to do when you're competitive. Play inspirationally. Play as an underdog. Their offense was still fairly basic with a kid who never had played, but a little touch of creativity. If Leon Orr catches Trey Burton's pass in that game against South Carolina, we could be having a different conversation. This team that showed up in Columbia gave effort, looked well coached, played as good as they could possibly play, just not good enough. Superb defensive play, especially the secondary. Some really, really good bright spots among the freshmen. Hargraves is going to be a number one pick in the NFL. Kelvin Taylor showed his speed and ability to cut as a running back position. And so overall, I give Will Muschamp and his team an A-, probably only the minus because he didn't win the game. Having said that, I want to make sure people think I'm very critical of the Florida Gators. I try to be honest. When they don't play well, I'm on the record as saying that I felt like Will Muschamp is not getting it done, and I listed 10 reasons why he shouldn't be the coach. And so after saying that, why would I say this? Well, is this any kind of a turnaround? No. Is it progress? Yes. Can Will Muschamp get the job done at University of Florida and return the Gators to their glory days? I really don't know. I really don't know. But I doubt it. Do I root for the Gators? Of course. Do I take any delight in seeing them lose? Absolutely not. What I said last week and what I wrote last week was something I felt like was an honest opinion. I was asked my thoughts on Will Muschamp as a coach. I made the statement, I didn't see them getting any better. Well, I will say this. They got better Saturday night, oddly enough, and played the kind of football that you would hope they would have played earlier in the year when they didn't have the injuries. It would have been easier to have just taken a pass on this whole deal to begin with, but it would not have been honest. And I remain willing to be proven wrong about Will Muschamp. Show me. Meanwhile, Muschamp seems to be continually battling the fans, JJ.
Yes. Well, apparently there's a bunch of fans out there who are going criticizing the players, which I haven't really heard about. But after the game, Muschamp said, these kids have fought their butts off. There's a lot of negativity out there, and some of our fans need to get a grip. They really do. They got a bunch of kids in that locker room fighting their butts off. They can criticize me all they want. I'm great with that. They pay me enough money to deal with that. But those kids don't. They really don't. And they fought their butts off, and they continue to fight and play hard. Nobody's ever questioned their efforts. Basically, that's it.
Okay, well, he's standing up for his players. And
the problem I have with it is I didn't realize people were blaming the players for any of this.
There are people at the stadium screaming at the players and everything. Will Muschamp needs to realize by coming out and saying what he said, that just adds gasoline to the fire.
Well, the headline said Will Muschamp tells the fans to get a grip, but I think Will Muschamp needs to get a grip on it.
Right, thank you. Remember, fan is short for fanatic. You're going to have some fanatics out there.
Yeah. All right, so let's
pay a lot of money to go.
A lot of money.
Let's switch gears one real quick and a couple of things.
Where's the flying squirrels? Bring on the flying squirrels.
I will, but I have to get the story in. I must say, this is what you call enough already, okay? Tim Tebow supporters bought an ad in the Florida Times. You can ask the Jaguars and Shad Khan to sign Tebow to a contract.
They said if you sign Tebow, we'll fill the stadium, it said.
Yeah.
And it has a little picture of Shad Khan's mustache.
I hate to say this. This is 2 months late and about a couple $1 million short of the thing. Been talking about that since August. It hasn't happened. Please let it go. Okay, let it go. Would I like to see Tebow play? Yeah, I would like to see him play.
You don't think Tebow bought that ad?
That ship has sailed. Tebow had a chance to go to the Jaguars. He turned it down.
Right.
Okay. let's talk about the flying squirrels, Tom.
I want to hear about the flying squirrel. You just can't,
Great
you
name,
can't
by the way.
tease flying squirrel and then not talk,
Yeah. The Flying Squirrels are Richmond. Love that. Class A, Eastern League. They got a new ballpark out there. They got a way to pay for part of it with $1.7 million in naming rights. Richmond Economic Development Authority is taking a lead on the development of a new Shockoe bottom ball card. What's Shockoe? S-H-O-C-K.
I got nothing.
Shockoe ball bar.
Let's see.
And the lead should be between the EDA and the Squirrels. The Squirrels would not manage the venue. Instead, the Pros Ballpark plan calls for a qualified service provider.
Online
to
shoe
manage it.
store, buddy.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know there's kind of Shockoe bottom ballpark. Okay. Apparently, this is how they're going to pay for it. City officials believe the naming rights would sell for more than $600,000. But after factoring in things like signage, advertising, suites, that value would go up quite a bit. So, quote, we feel like we can make more money from selling the naming rights than we would be able to do it if we could. If we feel like at the end of the day that the risk is greater than the possible rewards, we'd have the Squirrels take care of it. I love that. Have the Squirrels take care of it. Anyway, the important part of the story is that fact that VCU is going to play their baseball there. And this is a $1.7 million ballpark, of course, which is a lot cheaper than what we're talking about for the rent. But in February 2nd, 2016, we'll be ready to go. A lot of similarities here. One thing they did here, they look for creative ways to make this ballpark happen. That's what I like. Hopefully we'll be
Well, let's have some naming rights for this ballpark.
Well, that's in the deal.
Let's name it the Buddy Martin Media ballpark.
I got $20 for that.
Let's name it the Martone Family Trust ballpark.
Let's name it the We're Out of Time and we got to go to our
Franz
break
Beard
park.
ballpark.
It's our Franz Beard ball. Take a break and Franz Beard next right here on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page.
1378 and 96.3 FM WOCA, The Source.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require a $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information.
Hi, this is Joe, and I'm your host for the new show, Damage Control, every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m., brought to you by Damage Control Services. We're going to be discussing floods, fires, storm and tree damage, sinkholes, mold, and many other disasters that you need to know about, how to prevent and prepare for them, as well as what to do when it happens and what to expect after it happens. This is Damage Control, Tuesdays at 10:30, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today. Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Go on, take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run.
Time now for Franz Beard, straight from Gainesville. Get a basketball team players tonight. Got the Southern Jaguars going against Billy Donovan, the Fighting Billy Donovans tonight, O'Connell Center. Tip off at 7 p.m. And Franz, ever so slowly, Billy Donovan putting the pieces together on his team. As we know, by March, he'll have the pieces together, I do believe. Do we have Franz? I guess we don't have Franz. Okay, well, we'll try to get Franz.
Well, we'll get Franz is there. We just don't have him.
All right. Well,
Franz is probably there talking about it right now.
No, anyway, we'll get him when he gets online. But I think that Doran Finney-Smith played, I believe, well over the weekend. Tonight, it's one of those games they should win handily. They're going to have to, they're getting some score out of Casey Prather. Little by little, the team is coming back together, and I think some of these young players are really going to be a factor when they start playing. As we know, that he's had a number of injuries. We know that the team has lost 3 players by suspension. No word yet on when everybody's getting back, although certainly Scotty Wilbekin has been missed greatly. We did see one player return this past weekend, and so tonight I'm not sure who's going to be on the floor, but if we get Franz back, we'll try to pick up on that and find out what's going on with Donovan. The schedule, of course, is still pretty light the rest of the way until the conference starts in January. I haven't got a schedule in front of me, but I will. I know that they got a few lightweights to go yet. So let's see if we got Franz back on the phone. Franz, you there?
Yes, I am.
There you are. Okay. Basketball tonight. Southern Jaguars. Gators trying to win their 3rd game. Piece by piece, bit by bit, player by player. Billy Donovan putting his team back together again. What do you think?
I think they're pretty close. Scotty Wilson, by my calculations, will be back either the TU game or Florida State. I think Trey Harris will be back by December. DeMontre has I'm told, has some off-court issues, not legal variety, but he's got his head straight, and he's doing that. And once that happens, they'll have
I don't know what's happened to the phones. It's obviously we can't hear Franz. Got an issue there with something on the phones again. So
was that our end or
I'm not sure, but it sounds like he's in one of the merry-go-round. I heard him say something about somebody coming back, but I wasn't sure who.
Maybe his cell phone.
Could be. The Gremlins happens that way. Anyway, night 7 o'clock. Let's pull up the schedule, JJ, there for the Gators the rest of the way. We'll take a look at what they got coming up. Meanwhile, remind you that tomorrow we've got the Tribinator on at 3 o'clock. We'll have Angie Lewis in the house. We'll go around the water cooler with Tom James and the gang. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about, including some of those games over the weekend. Fantastic football plays.
The Gators have Middle Tennessee, Jacksonville before Florida State November 29th. And that's when they start playing real people. Florida State, UConn, Kansas, Memphis.
There you go. That's a pretty good schedule right there now. And that's a little better non-conference schedule than Billy normally plays.
Connecticut in Connecticut, by the way.
Those are
Kansas and Gainesville. Names. That's a heck of a game to go to, by the way. Memphis in New York, so I'm guessing that's some sort of classic tournament.
Yeah. So then you got to start the SEC in January.
SEC schedule starts January the 8th.
Right. So
against South Carolina.
So it'll be a pretty well tried and tested team when they,
especially if Kansas, the UConns. You've already played Wisconsin.
Exactly. Well, we apologize to Franz Beard and for the team. Appreciate Franz being on along with our earlier guests, Greta Blanton and Sylvia Edwards. And we'll be back here tomorrow, same time. On behalf of my broadcast partners, Tom Schmitz and JJ LaSalva, I'm Buddy Martin saying have a great night, everybody.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800. Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
Universal Soil Solutions wants to know when the last time you took a good look at your property. Noticed any driveway cracks, stair-step cracks in your block, or even foundation cracks? It may or may not be a sinkhole, but a visual inspection by a trained professional must be performed. Experts in sinkhole remediation, cosmetics, remodeling, and even complete construction development. Universal Soil Solutions provides that inspection for free. To schedule your free property inspection, you must call now, 877-519-2777. That's 877-519-2777.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
WOCA, Ocala. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now, I'm Chuck Sievertson. A mixed week for gasoline prices. The Energy Department reports the price per gallon for regular went up about a gallon in parts of the Midwest, but continued to drop on the West Coast, up 3 cents on average nationally to $3.22. Citing progress made fixing the White House health care insurance website, administration officials say 80% can now successfully apply, but they add that some of the rest have such complicated situations they'll need personal help enrolling. Some Republicans want to scrap the whole Obamacare law. The latest snapshot on drug abuse from Uncle Sam shows that over the past 4 years, the number of police agencies reporting prescription drug abuse as the number one drug problem has increased from 10% to 28%. George Zimmerman's been arrested in northern Florida for allegedly pointing a shotgun at a girlfriend. The sheriff says there was an argument, possibly over a breakup. Crews in the Midwest are still looking through the rubble for tornado survivors or also for bodies. This is ABC News.
Realtors have expertise in land development and management, retail, industrial, office, and investment properties. They have the experience, knowledge, and savvy to help you achieve your business and investment real estate goals. Realtors also have the power of the National Association of Realtors behind them, working with legislators and regulators to support the key role commercial real estate plays in our national economy. Ask for a professional who understands your commercial business. Ask for a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and right now during Happy Honda Days, you could get a great deal on a 2013 Civic. It's packed with standard features like hands-free calling, and it's the first car in its class to receive an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. And if that's not special enough, drink in this holiday ditty from the legendary pipes of Michael Bolton.
The special time of year, it's filled with joy and cheer for me and you.
Everything's a little more special during Happy Honda Days. See your Honda dealer.
For illnesses and minor injuries, visit Family Care Specialists Urgent Care offices with 2 convenient locations. Our North Ocala office is at 1111 Northeast 25th Avenue, and our Bellevue office is at 4850 Southeast 110th Street, right next to Walgreens. The medical team at Urgent Care can also handle well child and well adult exams, school and work physicals, immunizations, laboratory services, EKGs, and x-rays. Most insurances are accepted. Walk-ins are welcome. Family Care Specialist Urgent Care for illnesses and minor injuries.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store